Yes. Well, welcome everyone. The calm before the alkali, as we like to call it. This is episode 5. Tonight's not going to be that in depth. We're probably going to recap a little bit of episode 3 because, since the episodes we've been going where 1, 2, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 3, 1. Like we've just been up back and forth.
I just really want to talk shit about it, and we haven't done it yet.
Yeah, well, that's true, and I think we probably should have. I think we probably should have started the episode in order, but I think we could have started it with something like, like this.
Oh fuck no!
Now we're gonna have to pause it and keep going because YouTube and Disney will love nothing more but to enter our anuses and copyright strike this.
I don't mind a good strike at the anus every now and then.
Insert for a random Arab.
Every time I see this scene, I forget just how bad it is. I can't. Like, it's mind-boggling how this is why. Can you see why I think they made it on purpose? It's so fucking bad.
I just don't understand the fucking stupid target on her head. Oh, by the way,
yeah.
I know this is an episode 301, but that's why we called it Bullseye. Who the fuck was Bullseye again? It was a horse, wasn't it?
Bullseye was a freaking character in Daredevil. Is it?
Was it? I thought Bullseye was a horse. Oh, that's a ride like the wind, Bullseye. Toy Story. My childhood memory just got re-unlocked just then. But yeah, the fucking target, like, I admire the hair because that looks heavy.
And why, especially for a chick who's bald in real life, it's like, Jesus, she's been working on her neck.
Maybe she just wanted some hair, mate. Like,
yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
I've got to ask why the tattoo drips down her nose, and then it's even on her chin.
Into a septum piercing, mind you.
Septum piercing.
I think it's a septum piercing.
It runs down her chin. It looks like she's been drinking some milk and just forgot to wipe her chin.
Or something else.
It's a leso covenant. They don't do that shit.
Did you see the look this bitch gave her? Oh,
why is there a ring wraith in the background?
Yeah, fucking Dementor.
Maybe that's what's doing all the screaming. It's looking for the ring.
Yeah, just a random.
I never noticed that.
Oh, the meme just popped into my head. They were once men.
Oh,
power.
Oh no!
The power of two.
And cue the what the fuck?
Yeah.
What? Wow. Okay.
What's she pinching?
The thread, mate. The thread. Look at this. The Dementor's still chilling.
Power of
I gotta ask. I have questions about. I have questions about this scene. So many questions. Okay. The routine they're doing with their hands, does that help with what they're doing?
I don't know, dude. Just thought.
Like,
I reckon.
What about the actual chant? Like the fact that they keep saying the power of one, the power of two, the power of many. Is that actually part of the power? Like, do they have to say it?
I don't think they do. I think they just like.
Is it the combination of everything? What exactly? How does this work? Do they need to say anything at all? Could they just shut the fuck up?
You remember how in Rogue One they entered the or they inserted the theory of what I saw was praying to the Force. And I'm one with the Force is with me, and they said that like over and over again.
That. I always thought that was shit.
I thought that was dumb because I was just like, when you see Jedi's like connecting to the Force, they're sort of silent, or Force users sort of meditate. They quiet their mind and they find balance in a meditative state. Then he got this like, I love Chirrut Imwe, but he looked like a crackhead when he was rocking back and forth, going, "The Force is one another." I was like,
yeah, he did, Really did.
That was one
Smacky
thing I
Brown.
didn't like. So I guess this one, it sounds like they're probably doing the same thing. The hand movements. I don't
Is
know.
it necessary? Do
Like,
they
look
need
at
to be
him.
doing the chant for this to work?
Well,
And all
no, well,
and how the fuck does it require this much power from this many people just to do a wet fart of a fucking force tattoo?
well, the force tattoo is yet to be explained because if you remember in episode 4, Chewbacca 2.0 had a box with some yin and yang symbols on there and shit. I don't know what the fuck he was doing, but I don't know if he caught that.
Dude, you know what we should do? We should just like bring up the full episode and just talk our way through it because it'd be funny as fuck.
Ooh. Can we do that?
Almost like a watch party.
Can we do that?
I have no idea.
Ooh. We should do
Probably
that.
should have researched that because
Yeah,
that
we
would
should
be funny
research that. Because you know what we'll do? We'll research it and do it for tomorrow's Acolyte because that'll be fun. But we will have to start even earlier then.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay, we'll start earlier as well. I'll try and go to the gym earlier. And yeah. Speaking of which, if anyone hears a random bell ringing, that's just me getting my burrito.
Which one did you go with?
Ooh, I got a big burrito from Zambi's, and it was
Zambrero's overrated.
Oh yeah, I know. But I usually go for the GYG. I usually go for the Guzman. But this time I got a big burrito.
Me too.
Yeah, I got a big burrito. Got chipotle. Got grilled chicken, and then because I didn't eat lunch, I got 2 extra quesadillas. Anyway, enough about me being a fat cunt. But
The power of one. Power of two.
Hang on, go back. Can you pause it when they said 2? That's quite clearly 3.
It's the thread, mate. They're pulling. That's what it is. They're all pulling on a thread. It all comes together. They're all pulling on the thread. I never actually looked at the camera.
Hang on, they're not all in a straight line. They're saying it's a thread, not multiple threads. You can't all be pulling on that one thread, otherwise it wouldn't work.
Well, it's like when I think all Jedi's pull on a force object. I think they're all just tugging on the thread a little bit, mate. You know what I mean? Like, all it's 2 in the pink, 3 in the stink. I don't know. Fuck. But I think it looks like the choreography looks like they all got into a room and went, maybe we should do this, and they all just backed each other like, that is such a good idea, slay. That's literally what it comes to.
You just know all their periods were synced by the end of the shoot.
Oh, you reckon that was synced? I reckon there was a dominant one in there. Leslie Headland is fucking staunching every cunt. Literally. Misogyny. This is my favorite bit where they breathe on him.
What the? Just everyone with a really loud exhale.
Mate, if I was in the front row, I would have eaten some fucking Arab food or some shit, like the garlic stuff. Like, mate, like I would have. Oh,
what is that?
Oh, they fucking into it.
I love how even the soundtrack gets in on this shit chant. What the fuck?
I just feel sorry for these poor little kids going, what is going on?
Well, see, I would, but their acting was so bad, I've lost all pity.
No, I mean, like, can you imagine in, like, reality if, if let's pretend Star Wars was real for a second? And, like, obviously one of them was like, hey, I don't want to, like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm looking at my Uber driver and this cunt's just gone the wrong way, eh?
How do they always, like, lose where your apartment is?
You never had this problem. I did.
No, mine kept...
We lived in the same fucking house, and all my Uber drivers fucking ended up halfway across the city. Hang on, hey, mate, you're going the wrong way.
Oh,
yeah. Oh,
there's literally no redeeming qualities about that. I would love to do a full video on this one scene, because I've never seen it before where there are literally no redeeming qualities about something. There is no redeeming qualities about this scene. It's that bad. And it's hilarious. Well, I was looking forward to seeing this shit because it's just with every viewing, I just genuinely forget how bad it was.
Oh, hang on, mate. My fucking got me Uber driver calling. Can you take it away?
Yeah, I've got it. It's like, why? Why to any of this? What are they doing? What is what they're doing with their hands 100% necessary? Like, what? How does? Could they do this silently? Do they all need to talk and do this stupid chat, just giving us audio visual aids in the process? And why the fuck is there a ring wraith? Why did Sauron send one of the ring wraiths to this lesbian coven? I'm not across the Lord of the Rings lore as much as I would like to be, but from what I've read, in the little bits of the Silmarillion I've read, and Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit and whatnot, I've never seen anything about Sauron sending his ring wraith. Hope to God that's not the Witch King of Angmar that's been sent to a lesbian coven for a interpretive dance of how to give a wet fart of a force tattoo on a girl. She puts all this power into it and comes up with nothing. There's this tiny little dot on her forehead. Meanwhile, she's got the biggest one ever. It's probably given to her by a bloke. Because, blokes do everything right. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding. Relax. Cool your beans. But the hand gestures, why? Why do all of this? In fact, one of the funniest moments of this entire scene is the opening of it, where they're all standing around like they are there, but the black chick hasn't, at the front, Bullseye, has not appeared yet. She's in the group. And they're all doing this interpretive dance and chanting and whatever else. And their hands are going all over the place. And then they all, in perfect synchronicity, in a dance routine, go down to the floor and she stands up. And I just remember thinking when I was watching it for the first time, why? What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? Did they have to do that dance to help the black chick stand up? What was the point of the dance? What was the routine for? Oh my god! I was wetting myself. I thought it was fucking hilarious. And then she comes through and starts shouting at them their own history so that we know their history, because it seems that apparently they forgot. I dead set I've never seen anything with so few redeeming qualities, and by so few I mean literally zero. This entire scene, the entire scene, from minute 1 to the last minute, there's not one good thing about this scene. Even the setting is boring. In fact, the setting in most of it is rather boring. You see some decent forest shots and stuff, but like aside from that, little bits in the temple, a lot of the visuals are just dull. Like episode 5, the big fight in the jungle, but you can't see shit. It's just boring. Nothing to look at. Like, what happened to the Star Wars spectacle when things used to be like in really grand places and like you had really cool backdrops and stuff, like really unique. Like you'll never forget, say, the fight on Naboo, or like Endor or anything like that. They're all like really unique looking. Mustafar, of course, for Revenge of the Sith. Geonosis. I'm explaining Uber directions to a toad. He's having all kinds of problems, apparently. Order food like before the podcast next time, you prick. A toad will have more awareness. Actually, fun fact about toads. When toads got to Australia, they have now spread so far across our country. They're actually almost to the other side of the country from where they came in Queensland. They're now making their way towards, if they're not already in Western Australia. But in that time, from the time that they've been dropped off to now, their back legs, so actually help them, they've evolved. Their legs are now, or their back legs are now 25% longer than they were for a standard toad to help them with the journey across the country or wherever they go. Just an interesting little fact. That is cooked. That is cooked. Fuck cane toads. Me and my brothers used to play golf with them. Like, we'd see them in our backyard and we'd get the old golf clubs out, hit them over the neighbour's fence. Oh, anyway, back to this scene. Just all-time levels of bad. Now, I'd hit play on this, but I don't think I can. No, I can't. Oh man, I'd love to do a play-by-play on this scene. I reckon it would take at least 2 hours. Of like 5-10 minute scene to analyze would take at least 2 hours, just so we could properly make fun of it for its complete and utter shitness. Yes, that is a word. Look it up. Oh, hey, this better be the best burrito you've ever had. Holy shit. And now I find myself, one of the things I found myself wondering after the most recent episode, where the fuck is this show going?
Yeah, you're right. Where the fuck is it going?
Where is it going? You've got the characters' motivations change so much that I'm genuinely perplexed and just don't care at all where the show's going.
Well, which character's motivations is it? Because it's usually just fucking
all of them.
Fannie Mae, like she's like, I'm gonna head myself in. I love my sister. She means everything. Then she just fucking.
Well, she changed her mind about a few things multiple times throughout the series, so you never know what she's actually going to do. Then she was going to give herself up, but now she's infiltrating the Jedi somehow because old mate just forgets that he should be able to censor or anything like that.
She's infiltrating her. Besides the fact that she's got a stupid tattoo
but
on the
why?
Big forehead.
What's the point?
But the tattoo on the forehead wouldn't Sob be like, "What is on your head?" Like,
well, surely he could also, sense that that's not her. And he just took "she's gone" as an explanation for why her sister wasn't there. That was it. Didn't ask any follow-up questions. Nothing. He's good. Okay.
It's Leslie Headland, mate.
It's so horrendously bad. Mm-hmm. It's funny. People were saying it was the least bad episode of all of them.
They're only saying that was the choreography.
It was the choreography wasn't that good, dude. It really wasn't. Bits of it were okay. But if you actually watch it closely, it's not very good at all.
It was the only good part, theoretically, was the choreography between the actress Sophia, who plays the spiky head.
Oh, little Lezzo.
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah, but even that, that just makes no sense. She puts up a better fight than 4 fully grown Jedi, and she's a Padawan.
Oh yeah, stupid, but the choreography was like decent, half decent.
I'm telling you, man, if we sit back through and watch it, there's a moment where she kicks him right in the chest when he could have just put his lightsaber there and just cut her foot in half as she did it.
I know you had a problem with kicking. I do remember the conversation about kicks.
They do drive me nuts.
All right, so I heard you screaming you want to do a part by part, so tell me when to stop.
The power of
It was a spoof one. That's actually even funnier. Hang on. Let me find a good one in the meantime. I'll find the actual.
Dead set do. Yeah, you could actually do a 2-hour play-by-play just on that scene alone. And probably more than 2 hours. Just talking about how none of it makes any sense whatsoever. How it's all just so hilariously bad. And this is why I just can't imagine that someone thought this was good.
I've got it. And do you know what the best bit of part of this one is?
What?
I have the best part.
Oh, the... What the fuck was that about? Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Tonight we enact a ceremony we have not performed.
I fucking hate this stupid thing on your fucking head.
Oh, it's a shame. It's a shame. They don't show the interpretive dance to help her stand up at the start of the scene.
What the fuck? Did you hear that?
What?
Exactly.
What are they doing?
Formed since exactly. We were hunted, persecuted, forced.
Wow.
Why? Okay, she's on drugs. That's just a fact.
They just got some cunt off the fucking streets of LA and go, oi, this smacked out bitch just needs to make some faces.
We'll pay you $5 to be an extra on Star Wars. Just pay me drugs.
Persecuted, forced.
What are they doing? What the fuck are they doing?
Into hiding.
Oh, I didn't notice the end of that one. Little
persecuted, forced into hiding.
Oh no! I figured out what it is.
What?
They're queefing. Gotta be. Can you imagine the smell?
The only thing I just thought about then was Butters going, ah!
Or because some would consider our power dark. We were
that whole speech. She literally just tells them their history, which they would already know. It's so badly written.
Wait, I have a question. Now, apparently you have to do this weird fucking ceremony to be part of their cult. Yeah?
Yeah.
Why doesn't anyone else have a fucking target on their head?
That is a good point.
Forced into...
Jesus Christ.
They really did not think about this, did they?
No, like, where's the target on anyone else's head?
Or because some would consider our...
Or does only she get the target with her children?
Our power dark.
It's to show that she's the big dog. With the
we're
big
on
dick.
the brink of...
Look, see? No target. Oh, hang on.
She kind of maybe has one under the eyes. What the fuck is this bitch? I would just love if see they could have made this scene funny if when this bitch starts cackling like a jackal. That like the chick who's talking just stops and goes, "You fucking right? Shut up."
That would have been funny.
Of extinction.
What the fuck? I genuinely have no idea why they would include that.
Was that
what is the point?
Of extinction.
Do you know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of this. Hang on. Oh my god. If I find it, hang on.
What? Why would you include that? Can you imagine just picture the director telling her to do this? I want you to make the most obnoxious, loud, squealing laugh possible when she's talking. Okay. Like, how does that conversation even happen?
I don't know.
I can't take my eyes off that bald one right in the middle.
Huh?
The bald, horny one. It looks like an egg with horns.
I'm trying to find this scene, cunt, that's like... When you find it, you'll get what I'm saying.
Oh, this...
Oh, where is it?
That chick's got a big mouth.
Huh?
I wonder it makes so much noise.
What was that?
Is she? Oh, the chick making the cackling sounds. She's got a massive mouth. It's like the entrance to Luna Park.
Oh my god! Yeah, just Luna Park. What's your discount?
You found it?
Yeah. Fucking good old Ace Ventura.
No. Oh, dude, you could perfectly sub that noise in, and with the alrighty then at the end of it.
Yeah, just like...
Oh, someone's got to do that if they haven't already. Please.
Oh, we're doing
hilarious.
it tomorrow. Oh, fuck. That's good. Chuckles. I love that. Now back to fucking... Look at her. Fucking...
We were blessed with a distinction.
Do you reckon that was by design? Do you reckon they go, can you please laugh like a fucking weird cunt?
Well, that's what I was trying to say. Is like, how does that conversation even happen? Like, they've carefully directed this. I hardly imagine that they've done that by accident. Is it meant to resemble like a female, like rage ritual that apparently is a thing? Is that what it's meant to be? Like,
I saw that.
Is it meant some kind of expression of female feeling? What is that meant to be?
I don't know. It's like they're feeling themselves at the moment, and she does it more than once.
Oh yeah, I know. It's
let's keep going. Let's see if we can find it again.
We were blessed with a miracle, the gift of life.
Meanwhile, the fucking ring wraith just sitting there. The Witch King of Angmar has just been like, "How the fuck did I get sent here?"
Yeah, wrong.
Sauron, were you fucking high? Sending me to a coven of these lesbo bitches.
I didn't actually know.
Like fish.
I didn't fucking notice that until we watched it again.
Yeah, neither did I. I had no idea. I just kind of wanted to pull out like the sword that he stabs Frodo with, and just right in that chick's back. She's been stabbed by a Morgul blade.
Oh, there it is again!
Blessed with a miracle, the gift of
Wait for it.
life.
Why? Do you reckon
Why? Why? How does no one ask the question why on this show? Because I would love to see I want to see someone interview Leslie Headland, specifically talking about this scene, and say, okay, why? Just to
you know what?
It
sounded so similar to the first one. It's like they thought it was a good fucking idea to add it in again.
I reckon they did. I reckon that's just a replay. They've taken the soundbite from it and just played it again.
Right, listen to it.
Are they going?
Oh my god!
They're going out of their way to be annoying. They really are. The whole thing is meant
really piss off white people.
It's absolutely meant to piss people off. It is. I'm convinced.
Even some staunch defenders of the show were just like, the only reason I hated that episode was that cackling bitch.
How does this show have any defenders?
Like
all the problems with it are objective. They're not even subjective. Most of them are objective problems.
Because, David, I think I've said this every episode. They want those perks, bro. It's like a job for them. Like,
oh, okay. So shills. Okay, yeah.
Oh, but like, they're the new ones emerging. They even unfollowed me on Twitter.
Who?
A couple of these people. So like a few of them. One of them was Aussie,
Oh, is that one that you showed me?
Yeah, I think.
The one who was like, people who want me to talk negatively about it. It's like, I don't want to talk negatively. I'm not going to talk about the negative things.
No, she's American, that one.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah. No, she's a massive show. What I'm talking about was Aussie. Yeah. I posted the last few tweets. I was just like, listen, guys, again, if you suck the tail of Disney, you've always had an objective.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry right now, but I had no idea how spicy this sauce was going to be, David. And I'm fucking dying, cunt. I looked at my Powerade bottle and I was just like, cried. It's fucking empty. I was like, oh no. Oh no, here we go. The music, bro. Do you know what it reminds me of? You remember the famous scene in Gladiator when he's walking through the reefs?
Yeah.
Except this time they're just touching lesbians. That cunt doesn't even have a face.
Yeah, what the hell?
Okay. I don't care. That looks so predatory. Are they holding bows? They are. That's right. They had bows.
Yeah, what? Yeah, they had bows and arrows.
They had bows and arrows, but they had a massive computer server room.
Yeah, and like a power generator and shit.
Yeah, right. I mean, the Night Sisters had bows and arrows, but it seemed like the arrows were made of the Force, and
yeah, like they were pulling them out of thin air.
And they didn't have a lot of tech besides a few ships that get on and off. Anyway, if we go too into this, I'm gonna fucking cry. What the fuck?
What are you giving them? Your
She's
hands are empty.
Psychopath. That looks like a penis. She looks like a psychopath.
It actually does.
She looks so disturbed and upset that this is happening, which I'm assuming was obviously the directions. It's like one's really happy to be a whatever the fuck this is, and she doesn't want to. Which Joel really annoys me. Why does she want to be a Jedi? I don't understand that premise. It's like,
do you remember? I brought that up when we first watched it. I was like,
yeah,
why? The second she said, "I want to be a Jedi," I was like, what? That makes no sense whatsoever.
Well, yeah, she's never seen one. Remember how she's like, look how they wear their sabers. I'm like, how did you know it was a saber?
How do you know what a lightsaber is?
And then Sol gives a child a weapon, which I thought was really responsible. Very American.
They just don't know how to do world building. They got no fucking idea because anyone with a semblance of how to create a world would just know that the only thing that these characters would know of the Jedi, because apparently they've been hunted and all this kind of stuff and have problems with them, would be bad stories. They would have been indoctrinated against the Jedi. So for them to sit there and say, I want to be a Jedi for absolutely no reason, makes no sense.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
World building mistake. Yeah, we've seen it, Tom Jedi. We have, unfortunately.
Tom. Oh, fuck. Talk of a shill. Fuck. Ryan Johnson's used condom himself. How are you doing, Tom? Actually, can we get Tom on here? I want to get Tom on here.
You get him on. Why not?
Okay. Fucking Ryan Johnson lover. Where are you? Hang on.
While you do that, hit play.
Yes, 1 second. I'm just failing how to use a fucking computer.
The computer engineer is struggling to use a computer.
Oh. Well, I can't press play straight away because we'll get copyright struck. Hang on. I'm trying to find Tom on fucking Discord. Oh, Tom, what the fuck are you calling Discord? Is it the Tom Jedi? I cannot remember. Tom, can you just do me a favor? Can you just message me on the Discord? Why would I your name's Tom Jet. You know what? Message me on Discord, mate. We got a we got a show to laugh at. Oh, hang on. We found one. But she's got multiple.
Yeah, why did she get more than one? Is she special?
Where do the others have the tattoo? That's what I want to know. Where
Blue eyes is it the blue face paint? Is that supposed to be a tattoo?
I don't know.
It's a shit one if it is. What? Why? Why is there a ring race? And why is it so perfectly shaped? Like there's such a rigid shape to its head, and they've gone out of their way to hide their actual face. Like why?
Oh, Tom Jedi just messaged me a photo of Sol smiling. Oh, fuck you. I got him. I gave him the link.
Come, claim your destiny.
Claim your destiny. Claim it.
Remember all that talk in their bedroom about you don't have to do this and blah blah blah, or you need to be a witch and blah 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 blah, and you don't want to be a Jedi because you know that they force shit on you. But we're totally not doing that.
Now, Neil.
Oh
God. Oh, Ryan Johnson,
How's it going, guys?
God, we haven't chatted in a while, mate. How's Ryan Johnson going lately? How's Ryan?
Oh, I wish I knew. Oh man, don't.
Oi, I would take Ryan Johnson right now. Fucking hell.
Like you'd
over this
him?
shit? Yes.
Maybe I was too harsh to him.
Is that what you meant?
No, I don't want to fuck Roundhead, but I'm saying like, as far as content goes, fuck that spicy sauce.
He actually just took a bong hit.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that's too fucking picante for me. I said, I'm dying actually. If I had to choose content from which director, I would choose Ryan Johnson over Leslie right now.
Okay, that's interesting, actually.
God, the clue's even in her name, Leslie. Cut it in half.
Oh god.
I've got to say, I've heard some good critiques of this show, but I've never heard what kind of fucking name is Leslie.
From Dave, Leslie. So before we continue, because you know, Mr. Tom Jedi, by the way, guys, go follow his content. He's making it. What is that game you're playing? That sort of like VR
and sorcery.
I've actually watched a few of his videos. Really fun to watch. He's just fucking hacking cunts to death.
Yeah, it is. It is interesting because like it's meant to be like a Jedi, but then in all of my videos,
it's skin, right? It's a mod, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like fucking. Yeah. It's a bunch, yeah.
So, in that case, we've always sat on either side of the fence of, you know,
the last
Star Wars. I'm a very, very staunch George Lucas person, and you love The Last Jedi. We both hated Rise of Skywalker. We came together and hugged after that.
Yeah, Rise of Skywalker was the therapy this fandom needed. It just brings us all back together. And then someone said they in a show, so now everyone hates it. That's a whole thing.
But I think I've said this like before. The like you could say like the quote unquote wokeness isn't even the worst part of this show. It's not even what's wrong with it.
I'm curious. So I've been like I've been trying my best to stay because for this show I knew people had reviewed it before it came out, like the Rotten Tomato, and I knew everyone was having their sook. So I deleted Twitter because I'm just sick of it.
Is that why I haven't heard you on Twitter for a while?
Yeah, so I was on Twitter, happy as can be, because I didn't mind talking about like shit that was out. Like, I'll still have a little argue with someone about The Last Jedi. But this show was getting hate before it came out, so I just knew it was going to be a shitstorm, and it has been.
Yes.
Well, yeah, on either side you'll think that. Yeah, I've just been enjoying actually watching the show without any commentary from anyone online. That's sort of been what I've been doing.
So, like, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, I was going to say that first before, because my heart breaks again. Like, yes, it got shat on from the trailer.
No, it was before the trailer, actually.
Oh, really?
Well before. So it was.
Wow. Okay.
So I've been following this a lot. So do you remember Mike Zero? Have we ever talked about that fucking? I know
Mike,
like
the prodigal son, Mike Zero.
Mike Zero, dude, is like I remember he started making these videos. I think he was the first I saw of people like talking about the Acolyte, like before the Star Wars Celebration panel.
Yeah.
And they were talking. It was the wokeness that everyone like. They were talking about some bullshit woke. Leslie Headland is a communist, and we want to take her down. Yeah. So they like. I remember when that was happening, and then people were complaining about it like way before the trailer. It was all about. It was back then. It was just the weirdos that are like mad that lesbians are in the show. And now it's like people actually talking about the writing. Yep. But obviously that's spread. So I feel like there was already so much negative bullshit that I just did not want to be online when this, like, except for doing like my videos and stuff. But I just did not want to be a part of the discourse around this show because I knew it was going to be ridiculous. And it kind of has been.
I've never seen it like, and I lived through the Wrath of the Last Jedi and how much that was a shitstorm online. And so did you on either side. I have never seen the fandom so pissed off. I have never seen them so pissed off.
Because
it is.
I know many people that like this show. At least, and the thing about The Last Jedi that was fine. Like, we have our differences on it, but we have it for things that are, in like we've got it for shit like. I feel like character choices, like or like the writing. Whereas the only thing I've heard people complain about this show is a canon age was established for Ki-Adi-Mundi, and apparently lesbians having a child, like a weird forced child, is the same as the Chosen One, which are both just such strange like
Tom, I could give you 15 complaints about this one scene alone.
No, that's fine. I mean
it's nothing to do with either of those two.
Yeah, no. I'm not saying that there's not people that with actual arguments. The shit I've seen on like Twitter prior to the show coming out was all about like weird politics, like all that, and recently all the stuff has been Ki-Adi-Mundi's age, the Chosen One, and like so people saying it breaks law that don't really understand Star Wars law, basically.
Like it's the other thing is it's more to the point that even if you look at it from a technicality and go, it doesn't break it technically. It's more to the point. It's just like it's a really distasteful choice of insert of content because it cheapens the already established law. Is what I'm trying to say is right. Like, let's just say, for example, you take Anakin's virgin birth, right? Yeah. That was already controversial when he done it, and that especially was controversial, right? That and midichlorians. With me personally, I actually didn't give a fuck about midichlorians. Everyone else had a fucking cry about it. I didn't. you know, it cheapens that because already I was like, all right, this is the first and only time this happened. You know, there was obviously, you know, the nod to Plagueis about what Palpatine said, and it's funny, right? Because Palpatine goes, he even had the ability to create life. Where, and then you look at the EU content, it's like, well, he didn't even actually achieve that. It was, you know, he was trying to, and the Force responded with Anakin and made Anakin. Sorry, this shit's really fucking killing me. So when you look at those two things, it's more like it's like it goes back and it sort of cheapens it. It's almost trying to say like this happened first, and now it's trying to make sense of it. So like when I first saw this scene, or when I found out these two were creator of the Force, my head immediately went to they're trying to give like an origins tale of how Plagueis learnt it, or how he got wind of it to learn how to do it. Like, you know what I mean? That's what I was thinking. I was like, maybe that's the way they're going. Like, you know, maybe it's knowledge that he picked up from different dark side practitioners and whatnot, which, you know, it doesn't necessarily not make sense, right? So, like, in terms of like, is it them doing it before Anakin? It's just like, well, Anakin was made by the Force itself. What it seems like here is some sort of ritual and alchemy and shit to create beings from the Force. Like, it was forced upon, something that Plagueis didn't even get to do, which then for me also cheapens Plagueis. The Kiadi Mundi thing, like, they only did it, in my opinion, sometimes. I'm just like, fuck, you just really want to rile up people. You know what I mean? It's just like, just you know what was there before. It's like, just don't put him in there.
Yeah.
Don't even let him get wind of something like that. Because when he says that line, like, this has been extinct for a millennium, it's like, you know, I understand that they want to justify it. And what it looks like from episode 5 is like, this bloke isn't even a Sith. He says, like, you might look at me like a Sith, because he's trying to maybe point out that the Jedi have a very blunt, black and white view of good and bad. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's what I think he's trying to allude to. And, like, I don't necessarily understand why we have to keep shitting on the Jedi. The prequels did that very good. Really highlighted their incompetence, or their arrogance, more to the point. But, yeah, I was just like, just don't. You know, it's going to rile people up. Just fucking don't. Like, the fans are already riled up. Now you're just being petty.
I think it was entirely the point to piss people off.
Nah.
But why? Like,
why include him? What they could? He's done fucking nothing in the show. He's like said 2 words. It could have been anybody. It could have been nobody. Why did it be him? Why? Can anyone give me a reason why it needed to be him?
Because, and I think this is honestly all they're thinking about. I don't think they were trying to piss people off. I don't think anything else. The thing about Kiadi Mundi is, throughout all 3 of the prequel movies in the Clone Wars, he is just a fucking knucklehead. He just toes exactly what he's told, and he's just like, you know, think about...
He's got 2 brains. How's he stupid?
Yeah, I know. Well, doesn't he use one? Just like... So this is a side tangent.
One's a binary brain. Right?
But in Legends, didn't he have like fucking... Like, he was granted permission to go home and fuck people just to like keep his species alive?
That's fucking hectic.
And
but,
like,
yeah.
So maybe one of his brains is just fucking gooning.
All right, now.
But how do we go about getting that license?
Hang on, because his population was diminishing.
Yeah,
it was population.
No, I mean in real world, man, and I'm not.
Now, I mean, there are a few religions that let you do that.
Yeah.
What I was going to say. This is a totally off-topic question, because now, Tom, you're the spring chicken here of us 3, and we're the decrepit old fuckers. What the fuck does gooning mean?
Oh, gooning is a term for, I believe. Don't quote me on this. Actually, I just realized, are you monetizing this? Is this?
I mean, I want to, but you know what? Go for it. Fuck it.
Well, gooning is the practice of a constant watching of pornography while touching your little fella downstairs.
So like, it's just having a wank.
It's like, I think it's more like wank addiction. Like, it's like consistent. Yes, he's got a wanking brain. Are you happy now? Does that make the joke better?
It just sounds like
fucking geriatric can't understand a word.
It just sounds like fucking a normal bloke growing up in the mid-2000s when internet porn just came out.
I don't know what you were bloody up to,
teenage blokes do.
You have no idea. The internet was a wild time when it came out.
When it came out, when the internet first released, guys.
Okay, well, I'll put it this way: not when it first released, but like when it became common to have it in your household.
We get it. Your mum bought you a laptop and you used it to wank.
A
We were
laptop?
studying, weren't we? But no,
A
you
laptop?
Fucking
A laptop?
sticky keys on that keyboard.
Mate, back then there wasn't any personal
Would have had
laptops. We had
webbed
a family.
hands.
Yeah, we had a family computer, and my first computer was a Pentium 2.
Good lord.
And turning that on sounded like it was like a plane taking off. Do you remember those, David?
Yep.
Remember connected to the internet? Fucking took 10 minutes.
Yeah. I had dial-up internet until like 2009 or some shit.
Jesus Christ, why?
Because my parents were tight asses.
Yeah, fair enough.
Anyway,
now, so now that we've gone,
was a fuckwit, and he was the most obtuse. But the point is that out of all the Jedi on the Jedi Council, Ki-Adi-Mundi is the only one that I could totally realistically see having evidence of like the Sith existing and just going, nah, the Sith are extinct. He's the perfect. Like all the other council members have, a non-gooning brain. But yeah.
What?
So
he wouldn't. Wait,
hang on. So your explanation is because he wants to fuck, he won't tell a Jedi.
No, because he is very stubborn to towing the Jedi line. He is the type of motherfucker to be like, well, technically that wasn't a Sith, so we have nothing to worry about. Go back to normal. The Sith are extinct. You know what I mean?
So what you're saying is just he's too logical.
See, that's not what he was doing in the conversation. It was more like, I think it was a Sith Lord, and he's saying that's not possible.
Exactly.
They've been extinct for a millennium.
Exactly.
He wasn't so much arguing just to try and calm the storm. It was more like a discussion. They've been extinct for a millennium, haven't they?
It was a statement.
It wasn't more of a...
The thing about the prequels isn't necessarily Palpatine is a genius. I mean, he is obviously very smart, but the point is that the Jedi have gotten to such a place of comfort and arrogance that they have let obvious signs just be left uninvestigated because they're so confident in their rule that they don't have to worry about it. That is sort of the thesis of the prequel trilogy. So
they got comfy, you're right. In terms of they didn't necessarily believe, even if you look at Tales when, Duke is I warn them of the coming darkness.
Exactly.
I watched that last night.
Did you?
Yeah, it's good, right?
Get ready for this
until the last one. The last one, they fucked it up a little bit.
Wait, the Inquisitor one or the training one?
So not the Ahsoka ones. The Ahsoka ones can fuck off. I don't know why they didn't just make the whole thing about Dooku.
Oh, the Dooku ones with Yaddle.
So, yeah. When I talk about Tales, I talk specifically about the Dooku ones because the entire prequel trilogy should have been more about him.
Yeah, sick. Okay, so... Wait, why are we talking about Tales of... Okay, no, finish your point.
Oh, are you talking about Tales of the Empire? That shit was poo.
I don't mind that. No, Tales of the Jedi. I was thinking about Tales of the Jedi. But, wait, we're talking about Ki-Adi-Mundi. What is happening? Wait.
You mentioned Tales of the Jedi.
Yeah, you did. You mentioned... Yes, you're trying to make a point that was made in the Tales of the Jedi.
No. I was talking about episode... I was talking about the movies.
Right. Okay, well, Dave, let's just go to your point then.
My point?
About the Tales of the Jedi, what the fuck you were talking about?
Oh, I was just bringing up that, I watched it last night, and Tom, I think, said it was just really good. It was really good for me to a point.
Oh, yes, for the last episode.
The last Dooku episode.
The duel with Yaddle.
They did everything sort of in the wrong order, story-wise. The story didn't make sense.
You don't think so?
I mean, to be fair, they only had a few minutes.
No. But they did everything in the wrong order.
How
Except
so?
for the fight. The fight scene at the end is good, but all the stuff about him turning to the dark side. He was already working with Palpatine before.
Oh, so you're saying when it started, right? Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about the first half of that episode.
Yeah, no, I can understand that.
Each
I don't
individual
remember it, so it
scene
probably wasn't that good.
Each individual scene was really good, but it was like they were in the wrong order.
That's a fair.
I mean, to be like, my only defense of that is I love Tales of the Jedi. I thought it was fantastic content. But it was like,
you know why I find it so frustrating, Adrian? Because we've talked about it a bit. And sorry to cut you off. I've just got to get this out.
I'll just go fuck myself here.
Yeah. Dooku had potential to be the most interesting character in the entire prequel trilogy. I thought he was the biggest wasted opportunity in the entire prequel trilogy by far, by a long way. And then they give him this backstory, and it's all really good, but they only devote like 3 10 to 12 minute episodes to it, and then they give the other 3 to Ahsoka, and who the fuck cares about her?
I do. I like Ahsoka.
Yeah, Ahsoka can fuck off as far as I'm concerned. I don't rate her at all.
That's fair enough. I mean, like, look, would you choose Ahsoka or fucking like Morgan Elsbeth in Tales of the Empire? Because I can tell you now, I gave 0 fucks about Morgan Elsbeth. I'll tell you that for free.
Did you like the Ahsoka show?
Yeah. Oh, dude. You know what? I did and I didn't. Because that was something I really looked forward to, and I didn't like it. Like I liked. No, I mean there were episodes.
I thought you had I thought you were the used condom of Dave Filoni.
I was.
Or is it
he definitely was.
I definitely was. No, but it's not like see, I have a twisted mind a twisted opinion when it comes to Mr. Filoni. I'll get to that in a second. But with Ahsoka, I thought there were good moments. I thought there was great episodes. Like obviously, I loved it when with Hayden and you know Ahsoka when they came together. I thought that was really really good. Because I know a lot of people don't like The World Between Worlds. I controversially don't mind it.
You're Rebels, like
I love Rebels, man. I thought it was amazing. And
a lot of people hate it until they started going into that shit.
You didn't like the whales and shit?
I like the whales, bro. I thought it was very Ezra. I thought it was very Ezra. Like
I thought it was fun.
It played out through the whole 4 seasons, right? That sort of connection he was building with the animals. I actually thought it was clever. Some people thought it was absolutely retarded, and I'm like, you know what, that's fair enough. Like I like
my Star Wars kind of munted. Like I love the weird shit. Like I will say, bringing it back to
you must love this show then.
I don't hate it.
I don't think he likes it either.
I
think you're trying to like it.
Of course I am. It's Star Wars. I mean, I love Star Wars, and whatever they bring out, I'm gonna try to like it. Every time I'm gonna try to like it. Look, I really like bits of this show. The backstory for May and Osha, I thought the chant was dumb. Like the chant's fucking the music you guys were making fun of earlier. I kind of like. I like the operatic. Like to me, it always reminds me of Duel of Fates.
Mate. Cal, come on, bro. Come on. That's like oh
No. I just mean like I enjoy when all I meant was I enjoy when the soundtrack includes like the operatic singing. I like it. Yeah, the we are, what is it? Like the we are one, we are man.
When they all start saying that.
The power of one, the power of two, the power of me.
How is it that I really like this show and I don't remember that, and you both just like had it off the fucking dome? Like,
because I've heard it so many times on
how
the most memeable thing.
All the YouTube videos. This was the clip that was shown for everything.
All right.
Like I was saying, there's even staunch defenders of this show, and they're just like, I fucking hate this shit. What the fuck is this?
I think that just the chant, I quite like the interpretation of the Force.
What?
Like, I love seeing different like civilizations in Star Wars that might not know about the Jedi or.
That's cool, but they explain it like fucking retards.
That's fine. That's their interpretation. You can not like, you can not like the Sith, but you can enjoy watching the Sith. It doesn't make you evil. Oh,
the Sith have some pretty deep lore, well explained. I mean, I think this is my problem. There's not enough effort. There's no effort.
What's
in
the
these
problem with
shows.
what's the problem with their interpretation of the Force?
It's not necessarily how they interpret it. Like you can call it this, the and the other. It
Yeah.
was just delivered so fucking poorly and plainly. Like,
Well, the funniest
and it
part
was
about it is
so
how
many
they're talking about it.
contrivances. Yeah.
Well, how they're talking about it, it's not to be used or manipulated. Like they think the Jedi think they use and manipulate it as she's literally levitating like an apple or something, and then
Yeah.
2 seconds later uses it like a weapon.
Yeah.
She goes, the Jedi claim to use it. I'm like, no, they do. They literally do.
That's the thing, though. Like, I think the big difference is like sometimes characters have either hypocritical or incorrect things. I know we've seen these, which is again, I think in episode 7, and I think we'll get more answers as to basically are they good or are they bad? You know.
You reckon they'll fix the writing in between those episodes or what?
Do you mean like the dialogue or the plot? Because that's what confuses
me.
All of it.
All of it, dude. It is all like this is like Tom. I understand that you are an admirably very positive human being when it comes to this because you want it to be good, right? And I actually take my hat off to you because it's as much as it's a great sentiment to have, sometimes I think you also have to hold things accountable. Now,
I just like that stuff.
Where he tries to like things as opposed to people who watch things just to poke holes and be negative about it.
Look, that's the thing. I get it.
We can watch this and we're not even trying to poke holes in it. It is just Swiss cheese.
Yeah. And look, I think that's why I literally...
Did you have to bring up the Swiss? Did you have to go there?
Buddy.
Did you have to go there?
That sucks.
Italy lost to Switzerland. I'm sorry, everyone. That's a football joke. But anyway, go on.
But what was I fucking just talking about? Yeah, no, that's why I like deleted Twitter because I'm not going into this. Like, people, look, there are good criticisms for shows like this, stuff like Last Jedi, for all the things of Star Wars that I like, which is most of it. There's very little Star Wars that's super disappointing to me. I'm sick of hearing all of the useless bullshit in between the actual criticisms.
That's the internet, mate. You can't escape that. Like, yeah. And like I said, for me, one of my first tweets about the show was like, I watched number 1 and 2, and my only comments, like personally to my friends, I think I said it to Dave, was it was decent where it was decent, but it was goofy as fuck where it was goofy as fuck, right?
I think I would agree with that sentiment. Yeah,
like it was goofy as fuck. And then episode 3, it took me the fuck out of it. I was just like, I hate you. I was like, this is stupid.
You know what's interesting?
Yeah.
So I was pretty much blind to what was happening online while watching this show, at least where I could be. So after watching an episode, I had no idea about anything, like what people were talking about. And I didn't realize episode 3 was the one that pissed people off.
Which one did you think did?
I just thought it was mostly there before the show, which was in the end true. It had it had under a 20% on Rotten Tomatoes before the show came out.
That was a trailer. And admittedly, when I looked at the trailer, I was just like, there's nothing in this trailer that really tickles me. I'm like,
so how is that worth 18% though? Does that have anything else? It was already at its like low grade on Rotten Tomatoes before the show had come out.
Yeah, look, I think the best way to explain it is you're going to find that review bonding happens on both sides of it, and
I disagree.
No, how can you?
I think he's actually right about that.
It's not to the same extent.
Hang on, Tom. It is because if you look at, for example, positive review bonding, necessarily wouldn't come in the form of the fandom, because I think the fandom in between the Rotten Tomatoes score sort of tells a little bit of element of truth. And what I mean by that is if you look at all the scores from, let's just say, Last Jedi onwards of what the content came out, it actually does tell a pretty fair tale of the score. So you look at this one. This one's universally despised. Like, I've seen it. You have to see it. It's there.
No, I can't see what you've got on your screen.
Oh, I haven't put it up yet.
Well, fucking get on it. Chop, chop, YouTube boy.
Oh, you think I'm good at YouTube? I'm not. You think I'm a good content? Never know.
Mate, that's why I'm at 30K. You're at 45. That's all I'm saying.
I just started. Stop it.
Right, be better, Adrian. Come on.
100%.
Says the bloke sitting here doing fuck all.
David could be naked twiggling it right now. It'd be great. Hang on.
I got a new video coming out in an hour. This is like my my press tour.
Okay. So look, can you fuck off? There we go. So look at this, right? I mean, okay. It's actually got up a little bit. See, positive review bombing. It was at 13 before. But let's look at something that fuck off. Let's just say something that was maybe universally loved.
Yeah, sure. Except for Star Wars Theory, but we don't talk about him.
He doesn't hate it. He just thought it was boring, which I can understand why. Like,
he's a child, dude.
He's not a child. He just likes what he likes, man. Look at this. Right? If fans were review bombing Star Wars, bro, there'll be a review bombing.
No, it's not random. Man. I'm saying people review bombing. Like, before this show came out, everyone had decided they were pissed about it, so they like bombed the fuck out of it. I'm saying before the show had come out.
But we would probably translate that preface to anything that comes out from Disney Star Wars. This is what I'm saying.
Not at all.
Oh, bullshit.
I'm telling you, you can't get an honest response out of these websites anymore. Fair reviewing is dead.
No, yeah. But let's just have a look. It's like the book of Boba Fett. Like, what are we seeing? That's a trend here, right?
No,
except here, this one actually breaks it.
No,
because they didn't like it.
But you see what I'm saying, though, right? I'm saying that this one in particular, people were mad about before it came out and had already decided what their review was going to be, and they put it up before the show came out, only for this one. And
I think for the most part, like, yes, you do have a point. There was review bombing on it. My point that's trying to not necessarily negate it completely, but to show that it happens on both sides, which is this is universally in the 80s for everything that comes out, where you'll see this in the Star Wars fandom does go up and down. So something that Andor, which was universally loved in the 80s, this wasn't that loved. Tales of the Empire was pretty poopy butthole cheeks for a lot of people. That was 46%. Then you look at, Tales of the Jedi, mate. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, when it's good, it's good. People will flock to it, and they'll give it. Like, look, that's 100%, and that's a bullshit thing to say.
Yeah,
but nothing is 100%.
These shows, what I'm saying is, these shows didn't have this weird controversy around politics around it prior to them coming out. If they did, they probably would have got review bombed the exact same way. You can see it before the show came out. I checked Rotten Tomatoes, and The Acolyte was at like an incredibly low score. The other movies don't do that. I'm not saying that means the show is good or bad. I really do think, good or bad, the Rotten Tomatoes score is fucking useless. But
I actually do agree with Tom, at least to a point on this. I think this show definitely got review bombed more than others would have.
Now it deserves it after watching
it. That's their own fault.
Yeah. You think it's their own fault they got review bombed?
Yeah.
You think it's
I don't think it matters. I just think the score is useless.
The score is useless.
It's
well,
useless,
not useless, but not.
It gives an element of truth, right? It gives a tiny bit of element of truth, which is my point. Is this usually stays relatively up there? This one will fluctuate depending on what the overall sentiment is, right?
Do you want the the proof that those reviews are in like good faith? How many review under the audience score? What does that say?
500.
500.
Okay, go to the Acolyte. 500 reviews. 500 plus. We'll call it 600. Right?
To be fair, Tales of the Jedi, I don't think anywhere near as much watched, I would have thought.
Oh, so the other ones don't show how many reviews, huh? That's useless then.
Hang on. Relax. We're getting there. Oh, I went too far.
Yeah. How many reviews?
What the fuck? Oh, hang on. I have to enable fucking ads. Fuck off. Oh.
Ad block on YouTube? That's fucking controversial.
Shh.
All right.
We have to get into it, I think.
Does it just... Oh, it does? See, there. 25,000 plus
I definitely think there was some kind of almost unspoken cultural movement to just bomb the shit out of this.
Exactly.
No one would dispute that. All I'm saying is, I understand it's not at the same ratio, obviously, at the same... But this is also review bombing. In a way, they're paid.
Again, that's valid, but
they're paid, right?
Again, Rotten Tomatoes is pointless.
Yeah.
Yes, so the Rotten Tomatoes score is pointless. So what I'm saying is a review bombing positive, necessarily not done in the same way. But if you're paying for people to suck it off, that's always going to be there, right? So you can say this is disingenuous. You could probably say for a big part, this is disingenuous to its accurate rating, but it does show a sentiment, which is what I'm saying.
But
because the other ones fluctuate up and down. Like even though it's got review bomb, Tom. Hang on, let me finish. Even though it got review bombed, which it fucking did, and a lot of Star Wars shows do. My point is that there's still some sort of reflective sentiment within the score. Things that were sort of like so-so, half-half. People that overwhelmingly liked it. You can see it through the content that come out. This one here, like even if you don't look at this, like, dude, not a lot of people like this show. It's universally fucking bad. And I'm not even saying it because it's got fucking lesbians. I couldn't give two fucks about lesbians. It's just written bad to the point I was just like, what Downey writ this? Like, that's how bad it's gotten for me. I'm like, this is written by a child.
You'd be surprised, though. Here's the thing. People that like the show, like, I like the show. But I'm not so passionate about my like for the show that I'm going to go and review it. The people that hate this show are going it. So when I've done like polls and things, I would say my channel's very representative of like a general audience, because there's no hate pieces to flock to, and there's no dick sucking pieces to flock to. There's just sort of like Star Wars. And usually it's close to a 50-50 split between like I'm more like than average or I'm more dislike than average. And in most cases, it's about 60% liking it versus about 40% not liking it.
Well, you're still review bombs sort of audience, right? You're still gonna have a sentiment. So like,
but I'm saying that while the sentiment might be negative, it's not nearly that negative, because only the people that really hate the show, again, before this came out, there were enough reviews in there to give it a score like that. People aren't doing that for the trailer if they like it. People like me that just like Star Wars, I'm not going to go and like fucking wave a flag and tell people that they have to like the show the way people do with the hating it, because it makes money. That is the big reason that, you know, these shows get all these hate campaigns. All of those 10-hour fucking documentaries as to why Rian Johnson stomped on their fucking throat those make heaps of money for these YouTubers because they go viral.
It goes viral, but you got to understand, why does it go viral? People agree with that sentiment. I mean, I understand what you're trying to point to. It's like, if we're going to grift to make money, but you know, people still have to engage with that shit and watch it. So like, even people clicking on it, they're going to obviously feel for that sentiment. They're going to like, I hate it too. So this is what I'm saying. I go, people like your audience that you say you've cultivated seem to people that just don't give a fuck and just like Star Wars for what it is. That's great to have that sort of sentiment. They can just go in there, leave their brains at home, consume whatever the fuck it is, and do it. And you know what? I feel sorry. I feel sorry for them. I feel sorry like that I can't do that because I like it too much. And what I mean by that is like, if I'm not a normie fan, and I know normie fans are out there, I'm sorry if it offends you, but like, I am a cannon whore sometimes, and I care about
by the way.
but I care about the content that is there, and I don't blindly consume. When I watch a lot of Disney stuff these days, I'm like, they literally think the audience is retarded, which a lot of the time they are retarded. Let's be honest. But like, it's almost this show is so insulting the way it's written. It's very bad. So like, that's one thing with you, Tom. It's like, you could probably concede like the show is written horrendously. It's shit, dude. It's
the dialogue's exactly on tier with like the prequels and
it's worse. It's worse, dude. It's worse.
The dialogue is literally the same level.
But even the character,
the prequels dialogue was bad, particularly episode 2.
It was cringy, but like,
no,
it was cringy.
Bad.
Like,
I don't like it was really bad. But
I don't know.
It's not on this level.
But like, even this, like the way they interact with each other. So you're gonna have someone that obviously is personifying selfishness, right? an innately selfish human being, more someone that's like a Jedi. They're trying to say she's selfless. She loves everyone, but she wants to follow her own path. She wants to be the light. She wants her sister to stay. And you know what? She goes, you can't stay where they do that stupid little fucking we are one, we are two, whatever the fuck they used to say to each other and touch each other when they're in the forest. And then she goes, you can't leave. I'm not going to let you leave. And then she goes, how? And she goes, because I'm going to kill you. I'm like, wow. That escalated so fucking weirdly.
No,
what the fuck is that?
I agree the dialogue's clunky, but clunky dialogue's just, for me, is just a part of Star Wars that I kind of like. The thing is, like, not everything has to be perfect. Like, I love Andor, and Andor, I would say, is a perfectly written show.
How can you like something like Andor that is profoundly written to this garbage?
I can just like many things, dude. I like it. I don't know why. It's like, I just fucking like it. I just like Star Wars. I've loved Star Wars like every minute of my life, basically. And I too love canon. And honestly, the things that these shows have been adding into canon are things that I find like good. I like them because change is always going to piss people off. The prequels piss people off. I would say more than this one. Sorry to say it.
No.
Then these came out and they've pissed people off. The Clone Wars, when it came out, pissed people off, and that was my childhood. For me as a Star Wars fan, the Clone Wars is my magnum opus because it's what I grew up with. At the time, it pissed people off, and there are kids growing up right now watching this stuff that this is their magnum opus because it's just whatever you start with.
If this is someone's magnum opus, they're starting with a very low bar.
But the thing is, I disagree on that premise. Like, people were pissed off to this point. Dude, like, I'm a fair bit older, right? Like, so like I grew up on the OT, and what I'm saying is, like, I lived through that prequel. I was old enough to go to the cinemas to watch the premiere of Phantom Menace, right?
How old were you?
I was 10 when that came out.
You were 10, dude. Of course, that's. But you see what I'm saying? You were 10 when the prequels came out.
Okay, I was 10 years old when the prequels came out, right? But that doesn't mean
they must have been mind blowing and sick.
They were mind blowing and sick because of the visual point, which is something that I get very sore about because people don't like, the visual effects and things like that. But people, who didn't grow up back then and they watch it now, I'm like, back then that was state of the art, right? You didn't see it through the same lens of it being shit. So what I'm saying is the prequels had a lot of technical critiques, like there was too much use of digital and all this and that and la 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 la.
When you were 10, did you give a fuck?
When you're a 10, you're a child, but at the end of the day, you still hear.
No, but did you care? Did you care about those criticisms, or did you go, fuck that, this is sick?
Because it depends what criticism. Because even when you're 10 years old, you can think something is dumb. Like a lot of 10-year-olds still thought Jar Jar was dumb.
Yeah, but and that's fine. The movie.
I personally liked the movie. I had peers that didn't like the movie, but I liked the movie. But I've always been a prequel defender. I like the prequels. Yeah. I even like Attack of the Clones, but I've always said why I like them because I still think, even though you had, let's just say, cringy dialogue and let's just say the CGI was a bad point of it, a technical point, it's the storyline was still coherent and solid and still true to his own fucking canon. And for me, when George Lucas added something, we got to understand that's his jurisdiction. That is his jurisdiction. That's the creator. So even it's in Disney's hands now, and they have all technical right to do whatever they want, la, 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 la. It's still disrespectful to the source material, which was Lucas. And that's the way I personally see it. So when you're saying, like, did you like it? Yes, I liked it. Was it some of it hated? Of course. Did I understand the hate when I was a child? Yes. Did I care? No, I was a child.
Exactly.
But that's the point. The point is, like, what I'm trying to say is, it's like, I heard the hate of the prequels back then. You know what I mean? Because when you're in school, that's all you fucking talk about. That, soccer, and girls was for us. Star Wars, soccer, and pussy. That was literally it. So, like, when you heard
soccer and just Star Wars for me.
Oh, you don't like pussy, huh?
No. All right, fine. Star Wars and pussy it is, baby.
Okay. So my point is when you got onto the Clone Wars, I remember early criticisms of the Clone Wars was people again didn't like the animation style. I thought Star Wars animation was strange. So I was like teething, growing pains there. But a lot of it was just like they thought Ahsoka was annoying. But then they came right around in season 3. And I think Ashley Eckstein, I remember old interviews saying at con, guys, just give her time. You'll see it'll be good. And you know what? It did. So she stood the test of time. So when I'm going on to the Clone Wars, then you look at, Revenge of the Sith ultimately brought it home for everyone because that was love. No one fucking hates Revenge of the Sith. If you hate Revenge of the Sith, you hate puppies, in my opinion. Fuck off, David. Get fucked. Revenge of the Sith is great.
The first half of Revenge of the Sith is actually pretty.
What's with you and fucking dividing shit? I liked the Tales of the Jedi until the fucking last.
No, Dave. David is like the most nitpicky.
See, like
I like the first.
I used to love the prequels. I'm one of those people. I used to be able to enjoy things like that, and then after it got older and a bit, like smarter and whatever else, I'm not really good at just enjoying things and just turning my brain off. Like things need to somewhat make sense.
I think, but
the prequels make sense though.
No, that's debatable.
The thing is, though,
go on, man.
I think people's attitude is causing a lot of the problems because, sometimes something doesn't make sense. Like, think about how many things didn't make sense in the originals and the prequels that got covered in a fucking book somewhere, and then that was the canon.
Yeah, but I don't care about that. I don't care about the books, and this is where I hate where Adrian brings up books and legends and shit. All of this. If that's good for, the super nerds and all that kind of stuff, the super fans and all that, that's fine.
Oh, damn.
But if you can be a Star Wars fan and not be into that shit.
That's fine.
It's fine.
A lot of these things just aren't explained well in movies, or in the movies, or even in some of the TV shows.
Depends on the thing, though. Something isn't necessary.
We're going down a dark hole here. You don't want to know what Dave thinks is unexplained.
Anything that wasn't said by a character. If the character did not say it didn't fucking happen.
Even me and you will think of like, that's a nitpick, and Dave goes, it is a nitpick, but it's bad writing. I'm like,
yeah.
I think that's the funny thing. Like, bad writing. I don't know. Again, I think we forgive the things we like, and I know that there are kids right now growing up watching this, and it's like, this is what they're growing up with. This is the shit they think they're cool as a kid, and you forever will wear rose-tinted glasses when trying to watch that stuff.
But are they? Because when we look at the Nielsen numbers,
100%, dude, look.
No. When we look, these are facts. When we look at the Nielsen numbers of the shows coming out, and we look at the viewership that is not there. So when people say like, all these kids, there was a tweet from fucking some kind I even follow. I'm not going to say his name was, but he's like, so many kids are just enjoying this show. I love them. I love it. And, it's great. Star Wars is so awesome. I'm like, where are you seeing this? Like, what numbers? Where are you pulling this out of your asses? Because when I look at the fucking numbers or when they come out, I'm like, dude, no one's watching. So, like, people are lying. They are lying to
like
you.
The top of the year or some shit?
Do we really want to break that down?
I don't know. That's again.
Put it this way. I'll give you a simple thing. They haven't even made a return on their investment on the purchase of this IP.
Cool. Wait,
and that's
what?
fucking
No.
bad.
You've miscalculated.
No, they haven't. That's an actual Forbes article too. Yes, they have not made back their profit on a $4 billion purchase. So when you look at things like a Force Awakens, right? That you look at that on the surface of them and go, that shit made $2 billion.
Yeah.
Like, even from the costs, like no.
Well, no, exactly. It made. No, I'm certain they've made the return on the investment. I think you've seen some lie somewhere.
No, they haven't. Like, it's an actual Forbes article too, and Forbes used to suck their dick, so they're not fucking like talking smack, because they were the staunchest defenders of this IP until recently, because it's gotten really bad.
Excuse me. All right. They've apparently made 12 billion, which has well exceeded the 4 billion.
No, that's like when you're fudging the numbers, but then when you look at the exerting costs it covers, they actually haven't. So you're
saying all costs, profits minus all costs, not just the original buy.
That's how you calculate profits.
Well, no, I thought you were saying they had
the way you said it, Adrian, made it sound like just the original 4 billion.
I thought I thought that was what you were referencing.
That's what it sounded like when you said it.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean.
What you mean? They haven't made $4 billion on Star Wars?
No, When
What?
you look at the cost they have, yes.
They've
I'll
made
find
more
out.
than just the box office, not
Dude,
including
I
merch.
No.
find it hard to believe that they haven't, because
They've made
they
12
made half
billion.
of that with the first movie.
Yeah, they make. You
Yeah.
literally said 2 seconds ago they made 2 billion from. Force
Yeah, but that's
Awakens.
okay. But it still has there's still a cost to make a movie.
They
So
made
despite
okay.
what the movie made.
Are you talking about the 4 billion or everything?
Hang on, I'll get the article for you because
No.
no. Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know you don't know what I'm talking about. This is the problem. Hang on,
No, you don't.
hang on.
No, Adrian, I think you are the one who was confused here.
You've really
I am
confused yourself.
definitely not confused here. My two little Padawans. So this is by Forbes, right?
Okay, let's see.
So even from what they've released at their box office, have still failed to cover the cost of buying Lucasfilm. Now, I'm not sure if we can we even like legally go into this and critique
This
it?
is an article. It's
Yeah.
fine.
All right. Well, it's a
Box
fucking long
office.
article.
Well,
So do you know
go
what?
back up. Go back
How's
up.
about I'm just going to send it to both of you, and you guys
All
can
right.
go through.
No, let's go through it.
That's so
You're making a
long.
fucking YouTube video. Come on.
I want to talk
together.
about space lesbians doing dumb shit.
Just slowly fucking just scroll. Jesus Christ.
Okay, so
All
box
right.
office profits generated
All
by
right, bottom
Disney
4
Star Wars
billion.
movies.
We're talking about that's okay.
Can I narrate this, please? Thank you.
So
So
you're gonna
box
read
office.
the... Oh my God.
Yes, you want to go through it or not?
I don't want to read the whole thing. They made 4 billion.
Well, then
Okay.
read it in your own fucking time. But it's
Oh fuck me.
there. There, I'm going to send it to you. There.
All right, I'll just read this shit out then.
Okay.
Like a YouTuber. Do you want me to share my screen?
No.
All right, well, fuck me.
I was going to read the article.
Why would we read the whole article?
Because so you can understand what the fuck it's saying. So you don't
Just looking for
so you don't
numbers.
skim over it and go, oh, la, 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 like a fucking Gen Z. I actually read it like a millennial properly.
You don't need that. All right, it made
Yes,
4
you do.
billion in 20. You can just scroll and keep up with what I'm saying. It made 4 billion in 2012. Okay. That gave Force Awakens made 2.1. Someone keep that 2.1 in their brain, please. Okay.
You try to disprove the fucking article itself.
I'm trying
Are
to
you
find where
reading?
they make any type
Well,
of
hang
content.
on. Up there it said not the Force Awakens.
You know, it would be
it was-
easier if I actually just read it out to you, Zay.
Oh, it's gonna take so long. I don't want to listen to
Okay,
you
well then
read.
read it in your own time.
That's what I'm currently doing. Okay.
We're going back to lesbians. Thank you.
What? Okay. Okay.
You
No,
know,
it is.
What lesbians? These lesbians.
Okay. The article's headline is talking about it. But if you originally read it like a millennial, you would notice that later in the article it becomes about the costs.
Do you know what? How's about I make a video for it and I just tag you in it and going, haha, suck it.
But it did. Read the article. It literally
We
says.
did read. I know you haven't read it. I know for a
I've
fact
got it
you
in front of
haven't
me.
read
It literally says.
You have not read it. You've read bits and pieces. And do you know what? We'll read it together on another episode. And if you want to put
I'm
me
not
there,
sitting
put
here
me
and
there.
listening to you read a fucking article.
No.
Yeah, no,
We'll
that's
read
fine.
it and I'll
Look
highlight
at
it.
this
And then
screenshot.
I'll
I
go to
sent
the
it to you on
highlight part.
Discord. Just look at it.
I'm losing wood listening to this.
It's literally
You
showing
were hard
that
up.
it is about their spending. It's not about the fucking original. You just read the headline.
While you guys argue about the article,
That's
I'm
how
just going to
profits
perform
work,
some
dude.
Kiadi Mundi
You can only
activities.
calculate true profits after what your spending is throughout those years. That's how it works. That's not how you record a profit. You can't just say because I made something off something does not take away the expenses that you spent creating it. That's not how that works.
I understand.
Yeah,
what you're trying
but
to say.
Adrian,
It was
before you
just
said the
different
4,
to how
just the
it
4
said you
billion.
originally said it.
You know what? I'm going back to my lesbians.
We've got this on tape.
Yeah, back to these.
Yes.
Okay,
and
anyway.
I sort of understand the point you're trying to make. I'm like,
anyway,
yes, exactly
Kiadi
what I'm
Mundi.
making.
So he's a dick. Okay, that's the whole point.
No. Kiadi Mundi shouldn't be there. Leslie Helen's a cockhead. Now back to this.
That is true.
So much sense. I didn't even explain. It makes sense and it's great for character. And I love additions to the canon like that.
But
I hope you still
add
got fucking
anything. He
logo.
was just there. He didn't do anything.
Yeah, he didn't do
No,
anything.
but
He
it
was-
adds to his it adds to his, for me, it adds to his Phantom Menace line so much because it's like, Jesus Christ,
I hate
they
you.
won't read the writing on
I
the wall.
actually hate you. I want to poo on you right now. That is not
Why?
No, how is that a thing? How does it positively add to it just because he was there? He didn't do anything.
Because of what he said, because
I
it
hate you.
means that he has seen evidence of Sith being back, but he again, the arrogance of the Jedi has reached a point where it's like, nope, impossible still.
That's just like destroying someone's integrity on purpose.
His integrity's always been bad. He's always been
What?
a
Where?
fucking
Where?
moron.
Yeah,
Where has he been a moron?
This is where you're reaching
where has
into
he been-
legends
he's
and all that
reaching-
kind
no,
of shit.
where
This
has
is
he
from
been a
Clone
moron?
Wars.
Where?
Who is
Where
the
in
one
Clone
Jedi
Wars
that
is
agrees with Mace that Ahsoka's fucking guilty?
They all agreed, except Anakin.
No, the one that speaks up.
Again,
It's Kiadi Mundi. That's the point. It's Kiadi.
They all
Why does it
agree.
matter?
Yeah, why does it matter? They all agree.
Kiadi Mundi and Mace Windu, to lesser an extent, but mostly Kiadi Mundi, represent as a character that
Ahsoka
arrogance.
sucks anyway. Who cares?
No,
That is such a vacuous statement, Tom.
what do you mean? It's
No, bro. Like that is
What's
like
wrong with that?
See, my
That-
problem with it is
no.
if, like, in all the lore and that stuff, like, he had a birth date and it was after
That's
this.
in non-canon.
fuck off. It was canon
See,
until
this is why
Wikipedia
Star
tab.
Wars sucks compared to Lord of the Rings.
It was in the canon tab of Wikipedia too. It wasn't even just in Legends.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
It
What are you
was.
talking
Yes,
about?
it was. It was in the canon section until this episode came out.
Did you see it
that
before?
got changed.
Yes. We
That's
saw
the
it
thing that
because
got changed,
do you
isn't
know why?
Because you were just
Because
googling
fucking-
Kiadi Mundi.
No, not me, but super nerds were just like, I bet you this is going to happen. And guess what? Lo and behold, they're fucking correct. And you know what? I had no hate to Wikipedia because I understand they're just following what is there in the canon. Like, I don't actually hate them for it. It's
Doesn't
just
matter.
funny. It's just funny that they did.
I really don't understand how changing a character's birthday means the story wasn't fun. When I was watching it, my first thought wasn't, hey, they actually changed his birthday. And it wasn't yours either, because no one thinks that way. It's an after the fact thing that people are just bringing up because they don't want to like the show.
Well, no, because I knew that he wasn't even
Well,
born.
it's
yet,
a
right?
valid reason because they clearly don't care.
That's my point.
Because,
as well.
because it was there. It was for a fact there.
Are you French, Tom? I just disagree. I just disagree.
The point being, though, canon is literally, even if it is, I don't even know, and I don't care. It changes. You're allowed to, like, stories change small details to fit a larger narrative all the time.
That is
and
not
this
a
fits a
small
larger
point, my dude.
narrative.
That is not a small point. It's like the only reason he was there was literally in like on it just to fucking piss people off. Like there's no
problem
I
is,
reason.
just explained a story reason for it. You just heard me explain the story
That's
reason.
not a story reason. That's
What?
not a good reason. What reason
The
is
problem with
that?
an ever-changing
It's a
canon
vacuous comment.
is that no one gives a shit. Like, if the canon constantly changes like that, no one cares. Like, why should I care about anything?
Canon changes
just
for
gonna get
most
changed.
things. And again, it's in small ways. If this story came in and said, and it came in and said, actually, Luke Skywalker wasn't Anakin's son. He was actually like a baby that was picked. Like, if they did some bullshit like that, obviously that would piss me off because you're changing a very major part of canon. Making a character be slightly older so that they can fit a story reason like this is a minor change, and it isn't a big deal.
I
Why
don't.
have this,
I
why
don't
have
see
this
the
story
reason why
choice
they
as a
added it.
reason? But why have
I
this
don't
story
see why
reason?
he's in the
but
show.
why have it
I
as a
really
point?
don't get it.
But this is
Wait,
my
what do you mean?
point. Even the Alkalite as a whole, why do we tread this water? If not
What?
to fucking piss people off. This is my point.
No, but
The whole-
because
No,
they have to,
why?
like,
No, they
how
didn't
would
have
they?
to.
I don't think they knew this would
But-
piss people off.
Bullshit.
I don't think they thought it was
They
a big
did not.
deal.
They knew doing virgin births again would be a contentious topic.
Oh,
They're
Virgin.
putting-
We're talking about Kiadi Mundi.
I'm putting everything like
Okay,
even if you
okay,
add it up
okay,
as a
okay.
whole, right?
Let's
Even if you put a
start with
stupid
Kiadi
nuts of
Mundi.
Ren in there, right? No, I want to put it all as a blanket statement at this point in time. If
Okay,
you had the
okay.
Alkalite as actually following what it was from the perspective of the Darksiders, like, and I'm talking about their cult, their religion. You like that weird shit? Cool. Do it from the point of view of the Sith. Do it from the point of view of an Alkalite. Do it the point of view of the viewing. Show how they evaded the Jedi so intelligently for that long. Actually give them depth and character. And what did we get? This story, we're on episode 5 and no one knows what the fuck is going on. Where is it going? Where is it heading? It is so fucking
Why would
written.
you know those things? You want such a boring story.
We're in episode 5, dude. There's two episodes left.
Yeah,
but see, like the point is, at this point of the story, you should have a rough idea of what's ahead.
Nothing's happened. This is the point. Nothing has fucking happened.
See, that's the thing. When I don't know how a story's going to go, I'm excited by that concept. I like not knowing what's going to happen next.
You are excited.
No. You don't have to know what's going to happen. You just have a rough idea of where it's going. Like the good guys are going to fight the bad guys for X.
Okay, so when they were writing,
but with this show. Where's it going? Like, I don't know what to expect. Everyone's motivations keep changing on a dime. And for some reason, the chick who was giving herself up to the Jedi apparently is now infiltrating them for God knows why. Her whole purpose in life to this point had been to stab those Jedi, to kill those Jedi. She could have stabbed this one in the back, and that's all 4 dead. That's her whole purpose done. But she's now infiltrating them for what reason?
I'm convinced.
And then you got the other one where with the Dark Jedi or the Sith, whatever he is, with the other chick for some reason. What for? Like, what are we building for? What are these guys going to clash again? And if so, why?
Okay,
this is my point. There's
how about to find that out though? We finish the show, but before we if the end of the show comes about and there is no point, then we'll talk. But let's let the show finish before making any claims like that.
No, but that's the point. What do you mean? In good storytelling, you're supposed to have some kind of vision of where this is going.
They do.
No, they don't. They don't.
No, Tom. It's directionless. It's fucking stupid. The character development is not there. Like, every time they go quiet and talk to each other, they are just blatantly vacuous nothing burger of a comment that they have to each other. Like, their character building is so poor. I'm sorry. Like, I did not particularly like Ahsoka, but that was still better than this by miles.
So you thought miles. So you didn't care when either old mate bit the dust?
I laughed.
Who?
When Lil Lezzo died. The little one with the horns. When she died, I was cheering. I fucking hated her.
I couldn't give a fuck because even that was stupid and fucking poor. At the start of the episode, you saw her training with a fucking stick, showing her amateurness with a fucking weapon, and then she takes on this Darksider better than anyone else. I was just like, eat a fucking dick. Why? Like, amazing choreography. It was really good. It was done very well.
No. The choreography was not good.
No, it was good.
What?
It was decent. It was decent for Disney Star Wars.
No. If you
it did not rival anything of the prequels. I know that's what I was going for, but
if you're gonna do a fight like this with all these abilities that can be used and the weapons and all that, you've got to take these things into account. And
but I'm talking about the weapon choreography.
They just didn't. I'm talking about the people who made it. The people who made it just didn't. They just kind of ignore everything just to try and make this. They wrote it themselves into a corner by having so many Jedi. Had it have just been old mate and his Padawan, would have made so much more sense. Would have been better.
Yeah,
the fact that they had this one person
take on that many Jedi,
kill that many Jedi.
Yeah, that
just makes the Jedi completely incompetent.
It did. It
doesn't make them look good.
That's
it
the
makes
negative
them
way of
look
looking
bad.
at it, though. I see it as, wow, this dude is cool. Like,
it's realistic. No, even Sidious.
You actually watch the fight, especially when all those guys are still alive. It's just them twirling lightsabers in the dark, not even fighting.
They are. They're twirling it behind them, just being weirdos. But I mean, even if you look at Sidious,
and it's done behind trees to give the impression that cool shit's happening. It's not. Watch it closely.
Can I just preface this with saying Sidious even said it himself. We have to be quick. The Jedi are relentless. If they learn what transpired today, they'll kill us. Understanding the point that you can't fucking take them all on. Like, what that just shows stupid, unbalanced levels of power, and it does cheapen the Jedi. The Jedi now, for kids growing up, as you so famously say, you're gonna look at the Jedi and go, they're actually weak as piss.
See,
weak.
There is an extremely easy story reason that is built into the show, but I know that you'll say it you won't even.
What do you mean? There is a story reason. There are shit writers.
No, there is a very good why. There is an extremely good reason why these Jedi would not be good in a fight.
And tell me why this non-Sith would be then.
Because this whole show is set in a time of peace. The opening crawl of this and also all of the High Republic books make it very clear that the Jedi in this era are much more ceremonial. They just come around, they swing the dicks around.
You can't use that in
Why?
in the show
No,
because
they still train profusely.
They don't train for fight as like nearly as much as the prequel era Jedi who are literally about to go to a war.
No, I disagree.
No, I don't believe that.
disagree.
Why? See, that's
disagree.
Sidious is versing an army of Jedi that have just gone to war.
No.
This Sith is versing a bunch of Jedi that have twirled their lightsabers around in the air as
Because
training.
you don't get good at
So-
fighting
so
with
by
that's
your-
not how now I'll practice.
So by
That's
your
not how-
logic,
that's
then
not how training works.
So by your
Train
logic,
for
then
years.
Yoda is shit now.
Yoda's been alive for 900 years of them, including the 100 years that they were like at war.
Sorry, dude. No, I don't. I
Okay,
disagree
but
with you. This is bad
hang
writing.
on, Tom. When you pick something up, you get half decent at it, and then you don't do it again for a year or two. Are you automatically as good the second you pick it up again?
What are you talking about?
Training. He's talking about training.
When
what are
you have
trying
a
to say?
skill,
Yes.
my point is that he could have been alive for 900 years, but if he hasn't trained the whole time, he's not just going to be an awesome fighter.
No, I'm not. I'm saying he was training the whole time, but then when the wars and stuff started, he was also involved in that. So
it doesn't matter. By your own logic, even if these guys are ceremonial and they haven't fought anything, who the fuck is this fucking Darksider fought? Who the fuck is he fought?
that is a good point, but he's prepared to fight.
Oh, fuck off.
No, but
there is absolutely no way to justify him.
he is
being a
training.
Jedi.
He is training to kill Jedi, whereas the other Jedi are training for ceremony. They're not training like they are training for fight, but
What
not real
ceremony?
And here's
They're-
the thing.
But see, like,
here's the thing to Dave's
the whole thing.
Here's the thing to Dave's point, where he's just like, this whole thing of the extended universe can be a fucking normie trap for people, right? It's just like no one reads the High Republic. I'm sorry. It's a very low purchase novel.
It's not even just that.
Like no one
It's
cares about the High Republic.
Adrian, for things like this to work, if that's what you got to get across, you need to get that across in the show. Because when you're writing these
100%.
things, when you're writing these things, you've got to write them as if whoever is watching it is watching their first Star Wars thing. You wouldn't know
But
what
at
you're talking
the
about.
end of the
So
day,
you can't
even
include things that aren't.
It is in the show. It's in the first episode. They have a crawl, just like all the other Star Wars movies that explain.
And
that
what did
sort
it
of
say?
it's a time of peace.
It said it's a time of peace. That doesn't mean they don't train.
bullshit.
I'm
See,
not saying. I'm not saying.
What I
I'm
don't
saying
get is
they're
that
fine.
Jedi spend their whole lives training and using and connecting with the Force. That's what they do. That's
Yes.
all they do.
Yes.
This also
So
highlights.
there's no excuse for 7 of them to lose to one person.
Why
I'm
would you
saying-
treat the Jedi make them ceremonial? That is so fucking dumb.
Okay.
They
No,
still
I'm not
access
saying
the Jedi
just ceremony. I'm saying that they haven't been trained. Okay, let's say you've got 2 martial artists, right, in the real world. One just shadow boxes for 30 years, and the other one spars for 30 years. Who is going to be better in a fight?
How do you know their level of training, though? This is my point.
I'm
Like,
saying that,
are you
in
just
this
trying
era,
to?
I'm
No,
saying
I think
that in
you're
this
just trying
era
to make
they
sense of
don't.
it. Stop writing the script for Leslie Headland.
Okay,
At
so
the end
you're
of the
saying
day,
you like the law, but then when you hear the law, you're saying
what
no.
law? When did I say I like this law?
Well, sparring's how you get ready for a fight. Like,
Exactly.
But I don't think in the books it highlights.
If you spend a whole lot of time sparring, you're going to fare pretty well in a fight.
No. I
Exactly
actually want
right.
to know what part of the High Republic novels have you read that it is they are at that less than. Where
I've read a
actually
couple of them,
said
and
it.
quite frankly, I don't remember their names. But because I listened to them as audiobooks,
God, you paid for that? Jesus.
I like Star Wars, dude. I like Star Wars.
I like good Star Wars.
So,
But my
I'm not even kidding. I could write you a better show than this.
what I'm saying, do it, pussy.
You
It'll be on my desk next Monday.
I could go
What
to
I'm
St.
saying-
Vincent de Paul and get a better fucking story than this, man. Like,
What I'm
seriously.
saying is, the fucking. If you've got one martial artist who's sparring, they're prepared to fight. If you've got one who's just shadow boxing, that's not going to work. In this show, we watch Jedi train. We watch that they just twirl sticks around.
Hang on,
You watched Padawans train.
No, but you
Not
see
the same.
exactly. Yeah, but you're seeing that's the style of Jedi training in this era.
And yet,
Right?
hang on, there's something that goes against your argument.
And yet a
Because
Padawan kicks his ass.
It was the Padawan who put up the best fight.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But you
Well,
see that
So
what
the
I'm
point is,
saying
Padawan was
is-
only put in that position to have the best fight for one reason and one reason only, right? Let's be honest. That was a little girl boss moment. That
Well,
Oh, I
Padawan,
did
100%.
not think that. She's just what
I
the
did.
fuck?
I
That's,
did.
It's such a
Dude,
cynical
what else could
view
it
of
be?
Star
There were four.
Wars.
She
she
put up a
did.
better fight than
She did.
4 Jedi combined. They all died.
We saw a Jedi shish kebab happen.
That's fair, but you know what? Again, Star Wars characters get plot armor. Luke Skywalker has the most insane plot armor ever.
Sorry.
No, plot armor happens with pretty much all main characters in any story.
Exactly.
But not to this degree.
Not to this degree, man.
Again, I don't
takes
care.
you out of it. It takes you out of it. I know you personally don't care, and this is what I've said. Like,
but this is the thing.
Like with Tom, I don't think you're necessarily a shill, right? Because I'm not sure if you're trying to get into the good graces.
You named me Ryan Johnson's used condom.
That's because you want to fuck Ryan. But no, what I'm saying
he's a hot man.
What I'm saying is, I'm not sure if you are trying to get into the good graces of Disney and get any sort. Okay, because in my opinion, if you are a creator that does get sent to these places, does get kudos from Disney Star Wars, does interact with their events and their staff, your opinions are no longer objective for a review. Right?
Okay.
That's my fair point. You are not objective anymore. If anyone is in, like, for example, what the fuck's his name? Kyle Katarn and shit like that. They're not objective. They shouldn't do reviews. They should just do things explaining the show, because they'll never give an objective review. They're just going to give, I'm just going to double take this block and I'm going to suck it. What do you mean? That's the honest truth, right? I'm not going to sit here and go, do I hate anything that Disney puts out? No. I'm not like that. I've quite frankly told you things that I've liked that Disney put out. So I'm not going to sit there and just hate on Disney. Do I prefer George Lucas at the helm? Yes. But that still doesn't, negate the fact that I like some of their content. I love Star Wars Rebels, and that was in the Disney era. I love Tales of the Jedi. I liked Andor. I thought it was a bit slow and felt too much like Blade Runner. But that's only because I didn't think it needed to feel like Blade Runner. I know it was done by Tony Rodriguez, but Tony Gilroy, sorry. But I always thought that Star Wars themes and tonality can stand on its own 2 feet, and it didn't need to feel like Blade Runner. I thought that's where they got it wrong. It's just like, Tony Gilroy can write a good story, maybe put a bit more Star Wars, I guess, magic, if you want to call it, into it. But anyway, not to divert too hard, I feel as though, like, as an independent human being, I can still remain objective about something. I know you want to love something completely, but I don't want to try to love something. I didn't try and love the prequels. I didn't try and love the OT. I didn't try and love Rebels. I loved it because it was good. That's it. I loved it because it was good. I cannot love this because I think if I'm going to go out and be positive about it just for the sake of being positive, I'm doing a disservice to content. I'm doing disservice to creativity, because all I'm going to be doing is embracing mediocrity. And when we get to that point, all you're going to find is more and more fans are going to become apathetic to the bullshit that they release. So in this whole level, if you were to rate this as a piece of content that Disney has released, it sits below The Rise of Skywalker. It sits right at the bottom.
No, that's mental.
Yes,
that
it does. Because
thing.
Even that piece of shit, Rise of Skywalker, has better writing than this.
No, that's mental of you.
It's not. It's
reality. They hold a knife up and then locate the fucking beacon.
I'd say they're on a pretty even keel.
That I accept more than this. This is way better than Rise of Skywalker.
But even if you accept that they're on an even pedestal, Tom, you can't be positive about this show. This is where something.
I just like it, man.
Okay, you can just like it, but that's like I like the Super Mario movie from the 90s, and that's shit.
Sorry?
But I like the Super Mario Brothers movie from the 90s.
Yeah.
But
and you like the Star Wars prequels, which are also objectively awful movies.
No.
Yeah.
Because they still had the storyline, which is solid.
I mean,
they were true to it, and that's
the worst writing.
Yay and nay. Like they had good parts, but there are some objectively bad spots.
The story was not bastardized at all. That's my point. Like, even there, you can look at the visual effects, you can look at the fucking shit dialogue that they delivered. Fair, great. At the end of the day, the storyline was still solid and wasn't perverted. When I look at this, I'm just like, there is no line. There is no story. It's literally a kid with a crayon drawing all over it and going, that's all that sticks. It feels like they had a fucking focus room full of incompetent people going, yes, Queen Slay, that's going to be so good. And they just accepted everyone's stupid ideas. Like, that's literally what happened. What happens if May grows a pelican penis? Like, that's, yes, just do that. That's the level of retardation I'm fucking looking at right now.
I'm
sorry.
Look, I think that that perception I think means that you, from what I've heard of your descriptions of this show's plot, I think you've had the blinders up for a lot of it because there are clear misunderstandings.
No, this show is poorly. There's no blinds up. I gave this show.
Why did I get it? Like, why am I getting so much?
What are you getting? What are you getting? Well, what are you getting?
Well, like, why is it
what
that
are you understanding?
Well, the way you guys were talking about the Jedi earlier made it seem like you saw them the same as like prequel level Jedi. It's like
they are Jedis. They are trained from birth to be proficient with weapons. They are trained from birth, Tom.
Unless the show goes out of its way to tell us that they are not the same level, then we have to assume they are. And at no point does the show say they are not
Star
the
Wars
same
is
level.
For nerds, and we know that the Jedi are not the same at this point. It is just a difference.
No one knows that. You can't do that. Like if you're writing the show,
again, it's show not tell. They clearly are different. It says that 100 years ago.
Different uniforms.
So what? 100 years ago from the prequel era is not a big gap in terms of mythology or ideology. It is not a big gap.
It is considering what happened between this and the Clone Wars.
What happened?
The in deterioration of the Senate mostly, and then the Jedi becoming more like basically cops. You see the start of it in this show where the Jedi go out to that Neimoidian ship and they're out there. The point of the High Republic is to show the Jedi at a time where, they didn't have this corruption of war and violence and stuff. This show, with being at the tail end of the High Republic, is showing their transition into the Jedi that we know. So,
nah, I don't buy it.
See, you can not buy it, but that's what it is. You can not like it, but that's.
But how do you know that?
But see, again, none of this is explained.
Exactly. I think this is your independent analysis of
it. It
does. It does.
100% does have to be explained.
I just don't understand. Like, can't show not tell be something in this?
No. See, it's not that show don't tell. This is not showing and not telling. In fact, most of the show is telling. Most of the
because you want to see
because you're looking for it.
Because you want to make sense of it. That's your
just like you guys are looking for shit to pick out and not.
No,
dude, I don't have to look at shit. Well, you don't. I'm telling. Like, I'm the most objective person of the three of us. I'm the furthest distance from all of it. I don't even have to try to pick holes in it. Like it's that bad.
I can tell you why he's the most objective person. I originally liked The Hobbit.
Right.
I loved it. You fucking loved The Hobbit.
Look, I'm gonna go to bed in a sec, so I'm gonna close up. I like this show. I think it contributes positively.
I hate you.
I think there are some dumb bits, but I think it's a Star Wars staple to have some dumb bits. No. I can't think of a single Star Wars project that doesn't have a dumb bit.
There's dumb bits, and then there's just stupidity.
I don't see it that way. I just think honestly, I think the weird chant is like as weird as some like shit, like some of like the fucking Clone Wars having like an episode where 3PO and R2 look for fruit. That's a dumb episode. That's real dumb.
Okay, Tom, how would you rate the conversation between the witches and the Jedi then? Because just from a writing perspective, take all the stupid lesbian shit out of it. Just take all that out of it.
God, dude.
Just talk about what
I don't really remember. I haven't watched. I know you guys have been watching episode 3 addictively. I haven't watched it since it came out.
I've watched it once.
Watched it once. I've watched this scene about 7 times on YouTube, but I've watched it once.
Okay, it's this scene.
So this particular scene, and it's an important one. So the Jedi break into their compound, which is un-Jedi-like to start with.
Very.
They walk in, they approach them, and they say, "Well, what the fuck are you doing here?" Basically, and the Jedi said, "Oh, sorry, we thought this was uninhabited."
No, you didn't.
Yeah, that's the point.
Sure. Just that line. Just that line. Firstly, that's a horrible excuse because you can see this big fucking fortress.
That's the point. Sure.
Meant to be a hidden fortress on the top of the mountain.
It's meant to be hypocritical, but continue.
Why is it meant to be hypocritical? That doesn't make sense.
The point of this is that the Jedi are starting to fall and starting to become like they were in the prequels. That is show don't
They weren't
tell.
like this in the prequels.
They weren't like this in the prequels.
They were. They went to war.
No, hang on.
War, but they weren't invading people.
No, that's right. They went to war for the Republic. At the end of the day, in the prequels, you actually see them. They actually stick by Republic law pretty fucking to the T. Even in the prequel cartoons, they actually distinguish between territories that are occupied by the Republic and not. For example, even in the Phantom Menace, where they actually talk about
they're not going to
how
enemy lines.
Tatooine is controlled by the Hutts, and they're actually run by the laws of the Hutts. Like Qui-Gon even says it. He doesn't take matters into his own hands. He doesn't force anything. He actually plays by the rules that are bound upon him and who's in power there. So, like, no, the Jedi don't fall into like the prequels. They're nothing like the prequel Jedi.
Look.
So, like, even
going back to this scene.
Going
back to this scene.
The dialogue between them, right? When they say that you have no jurisdiction here. That's it. Done. That's it.
Straight away, they say we are not in
Republic jurisdiction.
Republic's jurisdiction, like you're out of. Basically, you shouldn't be here. You've got no reason to be here.
That's it. Done. Argument.
Then what do they say?
I can see where you're coming from because you're looking for reasons to make this work, but the entire conversation makes no sense because they even tell her, the black chick, that you can refuse to do this.
Yes.
And she does it anyway when she has no logical reason for wanting to do that.
God.
Yeah, like there's nothing forcing her hand. No. And also, when she actually takes possession of the only white member there, that poor Padawan, the one that, first of all, the Padawan that apparently this was only 16 years ago, who's a Padawan. Within that time, he became a Jedi Master in 6 years and then took a vow for 10 years. Stupid writing. Now let's continue. Like literally, that's dumb. He became a Jedi Knight and a Master in 6 years from being a Padawan. That is stupid.
If you actually it's even line by line. Each line makes less sense than the one before it. When you actually watch the scene and listen to what they're talking about, none of it makes sense. And I see what you're saying in terms of it's just proving how far the Jedi have fallen. It's like no, that's not what it is. It's bad writing.
And even if you want to isolate the case to those 5 or 6 Jedi that were there, nah, don't buy it.
See, this was just, I'm telling you, this to me, when I'm watching this show, these are the things I'm thinking about while watching it. These are immediately apparent.
You're thinking of shit things. You're thinking of things.
I'm just seeing what the show is trying to say.
It sounds like this is worse than Thrawn coping in Ahsoka.
Anyway. Well, okay, I need one of you to speak
about these kids. Who cares? Like, why would they be chasing these two in particular? Why are they special? They haven't said.
They say it in the show.
Why is he hiding in the trees like a pedophile breathing heavily?
They explain that in the show very clearly.
They explain why he's hiding behind the tree.
They literally say we have the right to test the children.
But they don't, because they also said in another line that we're outside our jurisdiction. We can't force you to do it.
No, but they are. The point of that scene is that they are trying to strong arm them into letting them take the kids and train them as Jedi because the Jedi of this era see themselves as owners of the Force.
But they mention that they're not in their jurisdiction and they don't have to. Yes, that's actually that's a plainly said line.
Brings that up. Like she's fully
okay. If 5 fucking cops break into your house and say we want to search this drawer, and you don't have to let us, but we've all got guns. Sometimes it's just scary, and you say okay.
Well, do you know what? No.
Immediately obvious jurisdiction.
Yeah, and you actually said no. First, we didn't warrant. No way, because by your logic, then they attacked a police officer.
What?
By your jurisdiction, by your logic, they attacked a police officer. They attacked the Jedi Padawan.
Yeah.
By that, see, even then, I'm like, that's enough.
That's enough. It's exactly what they did.
What do you mean?
They attacked a Jedi who are acting as the Republic's police in this era.
Yeah, and that's enough for the Jedi to fucking bring their sabers out and make.
But they didn't because they chose not. Again, these are just you're just seeing things that happened in the show.
I saw stupidity. I saw contrivances.
Again,
I saw literal contrivances. They literally said, "There's no jurisdiction here. You don't have the right to test these children." They're like, "Yeah, we don't." But do you want to?
This is an insane
like,
way to
sure.
watch shows, dude.
What do you mean? That's not an insane way to watch shows. I'm just like, why are they contradicting each other stupidly?
Again, you got to do some reading between the lines and allow there to be nuance. Instead of the dialogue directly telling you exactly what's happening,
that's
like
not
a fucking
directly
4-year-old.
saying no, but it's not. That's not the dialogue directing me. That's just them literally stating facts. Like,
you wanted them to say, "You don't have to, but you wouldn't like what happens if you don't," and then slowly pat their lightsaber.
You don't have to do that. You can also insinuate it.
There was
no insinuation of aggression.
But Jedi would never do.
That's also against what Jedi do.
And it's clear at the start of the show that the Jedi are going places.
But Tom, there is no insinuation
they're
of
writing.
that.
They're definitely writing the Jedi to be bad, but they're not.
They're
doing
writing
it well.
the Jedi to be different to what we're used to.
No, but I'm sorry, but there's not even a theme. Like, there's not even any sense of that. There's not, because even Trinity is acting so nice. She's like, with like your permission, of course. Like, there is nothing for me in that scene, in acting, music, or any delivery that says if they don't obey by this, they're gonna fuck them up. There is nothing.
I'm not saying they're gonna kill them, but
Jedi don't break into these places where they've got no jurisdiction in the first place to then ask permission.
Even if you wanted to make sense of why they were there,
but
like,
it doesn't make sense. Why would you break into somewhere for this to then ask permission? It's not that doesn't make sense.
Okay, so if cops break into your house, they often will like try and get permission to search things.
Cops don't break into your house.
The cops don't break into your house.
No, okay, but I guess
no, like, but they don't do that. But I mean, like, even what you're saying, Thomas, is like, yeah, I get it. You don't need them to like word for word baby you through what is happening of range of emotions. But there was no emotion. There was nothing for me to see that they were going to mean them any harm anyway.
Again, though, why did I see it then? It had to have been
because you wanted to. No, because you.
Why would I want? It makes no sense.
Because
you're making sense of bad writing, and you're trying to make sense of bad writing. Like, even if you were to make.
See, Adrian does this too, but he's
not always.
Well, you do it with most Star Wars related stuff. Like, you like stuff that just doesn't make sense.
Like what?
The prequels.
A lot of the stuff from The Mandalorian.
That one scene. Yeah. No, that one scene.
There was more. There was more. There was more than that one scene.
I only like season 2 of Mando. Let's just be honest. Season 1.
You didn't like season 1?
Season 1's shit,
dude.
Yeah. It feels good because it looks like the OT, but story-wise, a lot of it is just.
There was elements of season 1 which was good. I thought the first few episodes were great. I love the interaction with the first Imperial officer. I thought that he was amazing. That German actor, I thought was really good. I mean, obviously, I'm also a big fan of Carl Weathers, so I don't really hate Carl Weathers and his interactions. May he rest in peace. But no, like there was a lot of Mando that I didn't. I did like season 2. I despise the Book of Boba Fett. I thought that was retarded to my core. That was retarded. Like, honestly, that was.
Back in 1 sec, guys.
That was a really horribly written show, as well.
I liked the stuff with the Tuscans. Wasn't loving the city.
I thought it was all dumb. I thought it was all dumb.
Again, I like the stuff gets weird, so I'm different in that way.
But even when you're looking at like here, like I know you understand you're looking for positives to sort of bring out or to. You've always been one to try and make sense of something that isn't there. So even if you look at something completely stupid, which is when they arrest Osha, right? They arrest her.
Yes.
And even if we go before then, before they arrest, let's just go when they bring her to the ship.
Yeah.
They bring her to a ship operated by droids that are chairs. And they let on a massive security risk, which is a guy with an iPad for a face.
Okay.
And they're not even conspicuously like going, hey, we're going to break out. And also, how did the prisoners know that she murdered a Jedi? Who briefed inmates on that information? Like, there are so many questions to raise. And the fact how they break out of there is how the fuck so dumb.
Yeah, and she survives the crash.
Oh,
for some when the ship crashes, it's going down wildly, and then it comes down perfectly flat. It's
Luke
so
Skywalker
funny.
falls into a massive hole at Bespin. He miraculously
that doesn't
survives.
make this better. See, like
What?
It doesn't make
the
this
analogy I
better.
used the other day, Adrian, where just because something is shit, so just because I took a shit today doesn't make the shit I took yesterday any less of a shit. There's just more of it.
Well, that's the thing. Like, always trying to bring things that happen in the prequels and the OT. Go, oh, there's shit stuff there. That's not a good.
No, but why do you like that and not this?
He fell down in Bespin and he slid into something that opened. Like, for me, I was just like, that seemed less stupid than you crashing on a plane that is by droids. You have such a high-profile detainee that you don't have one human being on board.
My point is, it's just sometimes dumb stuff like that happens in Star Wars, and it's not a problem because it's a fantasy story, not a sci-fi story.
A person with an iPad for a face was not a security risk in something so high tech.
It's a fantasy story.
Like, didn't these things have fucking Norton antivirus? Like, come the fuck on! Like, no, I'm sorry, that's silly. That's easy, sloppy, really poor.
And there's a lot of moments of that throughout the show, but it goes. There are things like that in the OT which just don't make sense either.
But that's what I mean. Like, what I'm saying is
significantly less of them, but they are there.
I think that we can point out dumb stuff all day, and in the end, it doesn't matter. A big one that I'm surprised you guys haven't brought up, because it was when I was watching the show, I was like, oh, that's going to piss people off. I forgot about it. It's the fire and space thing.
That pisses me off less than the stupid writing of the show.
It's that and the mountain on fire.
The bricks catch. The bricks catch fire. It's fucking retarded.
But again, when I watch this stuff, I'm like, I notice it. I notice the fire thing, but
do you?
I just didn't give a fuck because it's like, who cares about that?
Yeah, see, it's funny and it's dumb, but that's not story.
But I care more about the overall story they're trying to tell, and you guys clearly haven't been looking out for that stuff.
What do you mean?
Because I'm seeing it when I'm watching the show for the first time, and you guys are missing it.
What? This is what But see, you're seeing things based on things that you know outside of.
No, I'm watching this, and like things like character. I'm looking at the subtext, and I'm seeing
you're
it.
trolling, dude.
Whereas you're trying to say that it's not there.
No, you are trolling.
Hang on, whoa. Which character?
Which one were we talking about before?
Just take any character and tell me how they've been developed.
Okay, I'll give you an easy one. Yord, show me how he's been developed.
His neck got snapped real big. No, I mean, he didn't really have the time to. Again, the show's only like at its midway point, so I guess
that's 5 episodes. That's heaps of time.
Not every character needs to change. Some of them do, and you guys get pissed off. Quite frankly.
Osha, I mean, what do you mean? May switched her choices on a dime and contradicted herself. Even now, we're in a massive contradiction.
Really good reason.
Osha being alive changes everything.
Yes.
I'm just going to force push and knock her out and take her clothes.
She said later on, early on in the show, she said she thought that her sister was dead.
Yes.
And then later on, when she sees her sister, she goes, "Everything I've done was for you." You thought she was dead. Which is it?
Like, Tom, it's a bad show.
They read their own scripts.
It's a bad show, brother. Like, I understand we can probably sit there and we can agree on so many things of Rise of Skywalker. We probably can agree on bad and good points of The Last Jedi. Not that I think there's many good points of The Last Jedi, but like, dude, this show is shit.
I like
shit.
It. I don't think it's as bad as people are saying.
Nah, bro, it's shit with a capital fucking S.
So, like, okay, where is this on your Star Wars ranking? Where is this?
The worst.
Whoa.
This is objectively.
It's not objective. Just
it is objective. No. There are subjectively you like it. If I point out objective flaws in the story, and I can point out some, Dave could probably point out many, if not all of them. This is by far the worst piece of content I have ever consumed.
That's insane.
It's not. It is the worst piece of content.
Have you seen the M. Night Shyamalan Airbender?
Not sure.
I've heard that's terrible.
It's really bad. It's like properly, like when you're actually looking for something objectively bad, that would be a good one.
This is objectively bad. This is really bad.
The
Last Jedi is a lot better than this. The Last Jedi is a fucking Shakespearean. It's a Shakespearean masterpiece compared to this, and I think it's shit. So that's saying something.
I think that there's a
I
lot of
hate The Last
hyperbole
Jedi.
going on in terms
No,
of
no.
because this show is like fine at worst.
No, it is not
It's
fine.
just-
It is
because
horrible.
again, when I bring up a point, you just sort of say it's not there, and I'm imagining it.
What,
and when you bring up a point,
point?
you're like, it's objectively bad because this looks dumb, which is a subjective statement.
I'm sorry. No.
Well,
I've actually brought up objective points of bad
what's
writing.
one thing? Go on.
Well, it's good.
Hmm.
Episode 5's lightsaber fight is the easiest one.
But
That's
it's
all.
really not.
But it's not that good.
Watch it again.
You guys,
and watch what these
you guys
people
just
are
don't
doing.
like Star Wars then?
No, that's not true. It's actually
it's
like
very,
I said the choreography between the Padawan and the Sith Lord, those were good.
Okay.
That was good. That was good. But that patchy part of it was good. But I'm saying, even at the start, when you have Osha waking up in sort of like what was obviously trying to personify, like she was dazed, you see the dead Jedi, that already sets a theme that shit's bad at this point. Like, let's just ignore the fact that this no-name fuckwit just force pushed 7 Jedi. I was like, that's stupid. But when you see them fighting in between the trees, on the left, you see the 2 Jedi with yellow lightsabers just like swinging at no one. They're just twirling them. And the fight's happening on the other side. I'm like, what are you twirling at, cunt?
So
get into the fight.
In Revenge of the Sith, when Obi-Wan and Anakin do that weird spin behind their back.
Yep, I hate it.
That's dumb, that's dumb. Or do you just go,
no,
cool.
I 100% hate it.
And that's fine.
I don't like their fight that much.
Fair enough.
I hate you.
A lot of people at the time were like, this is stupid.
But it doesn't matter. But again, like, let's just try and keep into the fucking episode. Let's just not try and bring up what happened before it to justify why it's happening now, because that is a nonsensical fucking way to argue a point of art. It is not.
Saying,
you have to stay. I personally saw him as they fucking had a bit of a twirl. Like, did it go off a bit too long? And was for sure. Yes.
Okay, so why?
But that doesn't. That's not as stupid as 2 people on the sideline twirling a lightsaber for no reason, because you have someone slaughtering your mates, dude. Jump in the pit.
Anakin was going to kill Obi-Wan. Why did they?
What do you mean? Anakin was going to kill
Obi-Wan. All right, hang on.
Anakin was trying to kill Obi-Wan. Why did Obi-Wan spin behind his back, huh?
What about... So there's a moment where he's fighting all 4 of them. It's really early in the fight.
Really early.
They all attack him one at a time.
Dumb.
And like... He dodges the first 2, or like he parries one and then dodges the other, and they just keep going. They don't turn around. They just keep going and disappear, and then they come back when it's time for them to reappear. It's really not good. Like, where the fuck was Soul during the whole fight? Where was the other little one?
Very on the minority on this one, which is fine. But I would say most.
No, it just means I was paying attention. I was actually watching. If you're going to claim best choreography ever.
I'm not. I'm just saying it was good, man. No. I liked it.
No, it was not you, but there was like people saying it's going to be it's the best lightsaber fight ever and whatnot. Apparently, so if that's going to get thrown out there, it's going to get looked at.
Anyway, it was still fucking dumb. Like, this is the point. So, like, to say all the no, stop it. You're trying too hard.
Most people reckon it's fucking good.
Most people are fucking silly because like I said, I go, just because a few lightsabers go vroom vroom does not mean the writing is any fucking better. Does not make up for shit writing.
You asked about a good thing, and I'm saying this was good. It was cool. You were the first Star Wars fan I've ever met that didn't like it.
No, that's not true. I conceded that I thought the Padawan and the Sith non-Sith Smiler Ren, that was good. That was in patches, and I said, yeah, that was probably some of the best stuff Disney have done in choreography, because I mean,
but you've still got to take that in context. It's like I understand.
I'm only judging it from. I'm only judging it from the greater
context. It's still stupid because Padawan is putting up a better fight than 4 Jedi combined.
That's not what I'm critiquing. The point that she's doing that is stupid, but the choreography was good. I'm just saying the choreography was good. So, like, I like to give merit where merit is due. I've always said in this show there are things that they do very well. The aliens are done very well. They are. That's one thing that I said early on, and everyone can quote me. I said the aliens are done exceptionally well. Where you see the aliens done in Mandalorian, and it's just like these cunts just painted a smiley face on a fucking sock puppet. Like, it was fucking shit. Like, so honestly, they weren't fucking trying. So, yes, the aliens here are good. Now, there's one thing I will say besides that. This is an insane fucking budget, and it's a nothing burger of a show.
Look,
Very, very fucking poor use of money, in my opinion. Like, I mean, each episode is worth more than fucking Godzilla -1.
yeah.
And Godzilla -1 looks fucking amazing. Because they took the time and care. And like, you can say, are these people rushed? I mean, like, some CGI parts of this show look shit. Some parts
I
look
don't
good.
even care about that. Let's just get the story fucking right.
But that's the thing, right? And this is what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't care about the diversity. I do not care about the fucking lesbians. I don't care. I care that they chanted. I thought that was weird. That was dumb. It was a meme at this point. But the story writing is horrible. And that's what I mean about it. Like, the usual grifty shit that you see online, Tom, that you don't like normal hate grifters. I get it. Like, that stuff doesn't bother me, like the ones that they usually rage bait about. But the story writing is fucking shit.
I just, again, that's more than fine to think, but that is a subjective opinion. If you're ever saying this was stupid or this was shit, that is subjective every time.
No, there are
that
objective
is not an
points
objective
of writing.
claim.
When you're pointing out constant contrivances and stories,
hang on. Whoa, I can prove a point right now. Adrian,
Sure.
rewind the video.
Okay.
Rewind it and start it again. Just go to the start.
Do I have to watch this again? Okay.
Tonight we enact a ceremony
How far? Where am I going to pause this every now and again?
Just keep going.
we have not performed
I really want
since
to go
our
to bed,
exile.
boys. This is my last point I'll sit for.
Oh, here we go. They're just fucking...
Just listen to what she's saying.
We were
Okay.
hunted,
We were hunted,
persecuted,
persecuted,
forced into hiding,
forced into hiding.
Yep.
all because some would consider our power dark.
Yep.
We were on the brink of extinction.
Oh, no. She's laughing again.
Oh God.
Oh, fucking
What is
hyena
that?
cunt.
We were blessed with a miracle.
Okay, now just pause there.
Okay.
Hey, look, it's a
What
race.
is the point of her saying that?
She's like doing a presentation and a
But she's
baptism, basically.
See, this is a fundamental error in storytelling. She's telling
Okay.
people who already know the backstory. They already know all of this. There's no reason for her to be saying this at all, other than the fact that the people in the show.
We didn't know
She's
that they were forced to
educated.
hide.
She's
No,
educated.
we didn't know. Now,
Oh, right, the
you've got
characters.
you need to find a better way to tell us that.
That
rather than
honestly,
have her-
that's that is actually a fair complaint. However, you guys were just saying before that they don't explain shit enough, and that you wanted more exposition.
No. But
And here it
it's
is.
about how you explain it. That
These
is
are the
bad
objective
writing.
points that we're talking about, right?
Because
These
in
objective
world,
points.
there is no reason for her to be saying that.
She's
to those
doing a
people.
baptism.
They already know.
She's doing a baptism.
She's doing something
The
weird
kids
to a
aren't
child.
even there. The kids aren't there.
They're about to end. It's like a
No,
ceremony.
but they're not there.
They're about to enter.
But they're not there yet. This is my point. They're not here to see
Like,
this.
so saying, even if you're trying to educate the children on your history, they're not even there to hear it.
Like,
They're not.
regardless-
She's doing a speech for a baptism.
Is it a baptism? Can we stop calling it a baptism?
Well, that's what it is. They're just putting shit on their
It's
head.
not a fucking baptism. This is fucking stupidity. This is like, let me put a. And why are there false tattoos now? This is so dumb. Like,
Oh my
I hate,
God.
I
Like,
hate,
just
I hate the
regardless.
false
Oh.
tattoos.
That's insane.
There are better ways.
She
to
has a
have
fucking
her-
target on her head. Look, ride like the wind, bullseye. What the fuck is that?
But
Oh, fuck me.
you see what I
That's so
mean, though?
dumb.
Like, you guys will bring these up as like objective points, and it's fine.
That
for
is
people
an-
to see
This,
it.
No,
this
see,
is
that-
a
that-
subjective point. That's subjective.
What I'm talking about was objective.
No, I'm
Yeah.
saying it's not. I'm saying that's also subjective. I'm saying
No,
that.
it's not. That
That's
is
not.
an
That's subjective.
objective.
No, but you're saying there is
storytelling
no
error.
reason for it. I give a reason for it, and you go, "That's dumb." That's subjective.
I didn't say that was dumb.
Fucking.
I said it's not right.
Supposed to be
It's
dead.
wrong.
What do you mean it's wrong?
What
In other
was your
words,
reason?
in other words, it's an extremely lazy way to like tell the audience of who they are, what they are. It's not necessarily a creative way to
But
do
that
it.
is
So
again, you're saying a subjective thing. You're saying you don't like it, but from an objective
No, see,
point
like,
where it
they're
is,
literally
it must have a
telling, not
logical
showing.
reason. There is a logical reason. Whether it's lazy or not is up to you, but it is a logical reason.
No, it's not. There is
It's a
no logic
baptism.
in that whatsoever.
She's
That's
doing a
why,
speech.
but why does she need to give their history, which they already know? And the
I'm saying
kids aren't
she's
even
giving
in
a
the...
speech.
To who?
People, how many times have you fucking sat in a room where someone's giving a speech of shit you know already?
Sorry, but you can even probably go do an even better example of this, which is that interaction when they first came in, right? They just sort of walk through the door. And the whole fact that they're not even there and they're out of their jurisdiction, which objectively they do not even show any urgency or any malcontent from the Jedi. There's nothing there that shows the Jedi are evil. They're going to be evil. They're going
I'm
to
not
do
saying
anything
they're
wrong.
evil.
I'm saying that's the objective points, right? Because you're trying to make the argument, oh, when cops break into your house, well, they don't.
I'm saying it's more subtle than what you're giving on, and you're
No,
not reading into the subtleties.
no, but
already
objectively,
understand
that's
behaviors.
bad because there's nothing there that shows the audience that the Jedi have ulterior motive.
Oh, it's just
There's nothing
funny how
there.
they literally break into their compound and they're just like, oh, sorry, we didn't realize you were here.
Yeah, literally.
That's
Yeah.
the stupidest lie ever.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because they don't give a fuck. They don't care if they know they're lying. They're
But
just
No,
it
it's
takes
dumb.
me
That
out
is
because
the-
it's so un-Jedi-like. It's just
that's
not.
again. I don't think that is what the Jedi are in this period. They are
Why?
at this
Where have we seen that? Where have we been?
This
shown
here,
that that's the case?
this is what you're seeing.
No.
It's new
But
content.
no, we're seeing that two people are having a really pointless discussion. That's what we're seeing. We're seeing one also. It's a very pointless discussion that they're having. We also saw one person attack a Jedi Knight for no reason,
Yes.
without any aggression from the Jedi. Just attack
Yes.
them. That's
They
dumb.
had no
decided
response
not
from the
to,
Jedi.
because
And they had
thought
no-
could do it diplomatically.
No,
you know,
and
like
what do
Jedi.
you mean? They were being diplomatic, and they just decided to attack a Padawan.
I'm saying they de-escalated it. They de-escalated.
Okay, so even
Wait,
if they de-escalated
can we
it,
talk about how they did that? He gave.
a child a weapon.
So from what we know in Star Wars is that how precious a lightsaber is to its wielder. How seriously that is taken. And he gives it to a child.
He didn't give it to her. He handed it to her and she gave it back. There's a big difference.
Well, I'm not saying he's giving it to her permanently. Stop taking that shit.
Okay.
He handed her a lightsaber.
Yes.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Again, that is fine to think, but it's not objective. Saying it's the
No,
dumbest thing, or it's stupid, or it's
that
shit
that
are
statement
subjective.
is subjective, but the actual
Okay.
action makes absolutely no sense in world.
Why?
Because it's
From an
established
objective, only
how
factual-
precious.
So
Well,
no
why-
Jedi has
why-
ever handed someone else a lightsaber.
Not a child. That's
Not
fucking
a
weird.
child,
But anyway, this is
let
is
alone
the
a child
goes off
from
legal
a
license.
hostile bunch of witches.
So you guys only
Exactly.
want to see shit that's already happened. You don't want new stuff at all.
I don't want to see Jedi giving
I
weapons
want-
to children. That's weird. Like that's
See,
so
new
weird.
stuff is good if it makes sense. You can't just throw random
Again,
things
I
in
just
there.
didn't think. I honestly didn't think of that as a major like logical jump. It doesn't. None of these things are like big logical jumps that I've had to leap because I'm just watching a fucking Star Wars show, dude.
Okay, let's play Expose the Shill. Give me an objective point how this show's bad.
What?
If you can't find what objective point why this show's bad, you're full of shit.
Pacing.
The pacing is bad. You reckon that's bad?
It's too fast. They skip over things they could definitely flesh out. It
Like?
is too slowly paced.
They also use a whole episode on a flashback.
Exactly.
That's really bad.
It should have been probably interspersed. So yeah, I have a problem with the editing and the pacing.
And that's not to mention there's going to be another flashback eventually.
Or to explain the witch's side of the story of how they
Well, to
died.
explain all the mysteries, because that's like, the point of the
to
story.
reveal what actually happened.
Yeah.
that no
But
one
see,
cares about.
this episode should have been a prelude to everything, right? It should have been
You
done
think
in
this should have been
bits.
episode 1?
No, I think
Yeah.
it should have been a prelude, like
if,
maybe
if
just
this was going
like
to be an
like
episode,
snips and flashes that
I agree.
entwine in the first episode, like to give a bit of backstory. We didn't need this.
I
This
think
was like
having
nothing
the
episode.
whole thing as one episode was a bit jarring. From an editing and from a pacing perspective, I think this should have been interspersed between the first few episodes.
I also,
However,
yeah.
the whole point of the first episode is to sort of be this, like, basically, this OSHA person looks like May, and it was like a very shortly lived mystery. I quite liked what that gave, but I think the original plan was to have episode 3, like, spread out a little more. I think I heard it in an interview somewhere.
Talk
that
to me
they-
about. By the way, I just want to get to another point, which is just retarded.
Sure.
Let's just go to episode 2 when she breaks into the, highly secure Jedi temple.
What, when they... Oh, yeah, sure.
Where she basically bribes a Pakistani kid to do a knock and run, and then she throws something
Again, I would have liked if the show was a bit slower paced to maybe make that a bit more of a moment. As in,
when
she
walks
properly
past the
breaks
Jedi,
in rather than just doing something silly.
Yeah, but she walks past the Jedi. They just look at each other.
I do think, again,
doesn't give each other a nod.
A bit dumb. I agree. Because, and again, for me, that's just like, it can be a bit dumb without me destroying.
No, bro. What about the time when they get there all together when fucking Master Soul is there and shit? They're going to the same place, bro. They're going to the same place. For some reason, she takes a shortcut. Fucking sees the cunt. Sees the cunt. What? She sees the cunt that off himself. And then they fucking find... When they're going to see Master Torben, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're going to the same direction anyway, and then she gets some sort of weird force sense and takes a different route to where they're already going, and then Yord follows her. She finds the cunt dead. They think that she killed him because she's holding a fucking vial of poison that she found at the cunt, and then with Yord nowhere to be seen, comes out around the corner and goes, "The cunt was already dead. I saw everything despite not seeing anything."
What are you fucking talking about?
What do you mean?
Understand. I genuinely have no idea.
Basically, they're all headed to the same place.
Yes.
You would think the guide would know the quickest way into the room. Is that a fair assumption?
No, but they were just
doesn't matter. They're going to the same direction.
They were going to the room. That's where they were going.
You're right, they were.
Is it fair to assume that the guide would know the fastest way to the room?
Honestly, that's fair, but again, they were just going through the main hallway. I think that's pretty normal.
But they're going the same way.
So they took the scenic route to get to the room where the dude was for some reason.
They just went through the main hallway rather than going through individual rooms. I don't know. Again, it's just that's what you do, dude.
What about Yord?
What
he
about
was dead
him?
before we got there.
When Osha finds the white guy dead. And then he comes around the corner after they find her on the body.
Yes.
And says, "Oh, it's okay. I saw the whole thing."
Yeah,
he didn't do it. It's just like, well, he couldn't possibly have seen the whole thing. He was completely out of view.
So you couldn't see him, so he can't have been
there.
No.
Like from the camera angle, there's no possible way he could have seen it.
Legit.
Which camera angle are you?
You look at the camera angle. He comes around a corner where he was completely hidden. There's no possible way he could have seen that.
This is my point. We're not around the corner. No, he wasn't peeking. There was no way. We're not even trying to hate the show. This is the point.
I think you are. It's such a silly thing to bring up.
It's not silly. It is absolutely not silly.
It's not, because they actually bring these things up themselves, and then we're just like, wait, what? Where did he come from?
Even the interaction between May and the floating Torben, which I think is
that's
retarded.
so funny. Why the fuck is there so much kung fu in this show?
Why is his hairline so bad? But anyway, the fact that he was some sort of force impenetrable. She's done 17 backflips to try and penetrate through it, and then she escapes through the hole in the roof. Which was there the whole time.
And then once the security breach is noted, they don't amp up protection. They don't cover up the hole she came out of. They just leave it open for it to happen again.
When Torben wakes up and he goes, "I've been waiting for you," I was like, "She was there fucking the day before."
Wait, what? I thought you were dead.
Yeah, literally.
Then, if you were just going to kill yourself at her bidding, why wouldn't he have just killed himself way before this?
Yeah, literally. You thought she was dead, and you're like, "I'm waiting for you."
What was the point of staying alive?
We don't know if they know that. We haven't. We literally have not seen the second half of the flashback. We have no idea what happened.
What we know is that Soul fully believes she was dead.
What you've been told is that.
He told that to the Jedi Council.
We don't know what has happened there yet.
Doesn't
we
matter.
Cannot make any claims about what happened there.
She's presumed dead.
That is what we are being told.
But that's what the characters know.
Look, if at the end of the show that's true, we'll keep that. And
but the fact that that still doesn't take away the fact that she was there before, and he goes, "I've been waiting for you." It's like, bro, she was there before.
She hadn't revealed herself. She had to take her mask off and literally say, "I am this person," and that's when he came down.
Jedi can sense people's presences, man. Come on.
He's in a meditative state. He doesn't know what's happening in the world.
Fuck
Can
off.
I ask?
So
a
he
question?
knows
So,
when
like,
someone puts their mask down.
He
Come on.
can hear.
So I'm
No,
not
fuck
going to
off.
get into the discussion of the helmet because it's just dumb.
I like it.
But
Of course you do.
I
why?
like it, dude.
Why is he able to get into people's heads?
The
But no
Force,
one-
man.
No.
Kylo Ren does it in 7.
Yeah, but no.
No. There is an established law there of who you can do that to. You can't just do that to anyone.
Let me finish. So he points to his head when he says, "Oh, so you can try to get in my head to Sol."
Yeah.
And he points
That's
to
the
his
job.
helmet as if the helmet's stopping him from getting into his head. Because he says, remove your helmet. So why, if you're wearing the helmet, can you send Force abilities out to read people's mind or get in people's heads? How does the helmet stop them getting in?
Not to mention he takes his helmet.
How does the helmet not stop his abilities getting out?
Not to mention he
If
takes his helmet off anyway.
the helmet blocks Force abilities getting in, how do his get out?
Not to mention the helmet comes off anyway.
Again, I don't really think that piece of writing was necessarily about Force abilities. I think again,
it 100% was.
So you
can I honestly just thought about it as like, you know, looking into someone's eyes.
You're a wet fart, you know
what?
that. You're
it's just how I think when I watch these shows, and they make sense.
You're a wet fart.
That does not make sense at all. Because they literally show throughout the show them getting in their heads. Like they literally show you that. They show him doing that to Osha. No, not Osha. Was it Osha or was it May? He did it in one of them. I can't remember.
Who does it to May?
Sol.
Sol does.
Sol reads May.
Yeah.
Like,
remember,
as
he couldn't figure out. He was trying to find who.
No, he senses emotion like all Jedi do for like. All
No. He read her mind.
He literally read her mind.
She even said,
"Not to mention, they bring up the mind reading thing multiple times." Literally,
it's also insinuated it's a weapon of like. It's a very forced upon weapon of the Jedi when Yord goes up to the Numenorian and just raises his hand, and then they can.
Like
then
he's
they
gonna
can
do it,
him.
and then
like it was a threat. I was like, that's very un-Jedi-like.
That's the point, man.
Nah.
That is
I don't believe it because it's so wide.
Outlining the thesis of the show. It's right in front of you.
Your point, but
it's
not...
so ham-fisted. Like it's not even trying to hide it. There's no subtlety to it whatsoever.
I just disagree because when you see the subtleties, you guys ignore it.
What?
No, there's no
what
subtleties?
I've brought up so many times where I think there's a more subtle context you guys are missing, and then you just say it's stupid and move on.
No, I didn't say it was stupid. I just disagree with it. I just think it's incorrect.
I think it's stupid. But that's when you were talking about that's when you talk about when the police come into your house and shit. You try to have that spiel like that again. Like you're saying that was subtle. I would argue that it's not even subtle. There's no inkling that the Jedi want malcontent there. There is an inkling that they're interested in the kids.
They're forceful in their use of power.
They weren't forceful. They were not doing anything forceful.
They broke in.
But
you were complaining that was too forceful for a Jedi.
They didn't really break in.
Hey Tom, quick question: Where do you stand on the so in episode 1 in the fight, the Jedi don't draw their weapon unless they're prepared to kill.
That's dumb.
What's wrong with that?
That's not true.
It's just
but it's a thing she's saying to get someone to not attack. Not
but like, would a Jedi Master really fall for that? Really?
Yeah.
What?
But you're like, so she could say that to try and get her to put her weapon away. And if you're saying that worked, great. But at the same time, do you really expect a Jedi Master to fall for that?
What do you mean, May?
No, the one who died, Trinity, whatever her name is.
Wait, are we talking about her putting a weapon away? What's happening?
So you remember the fight at the start? So
yeah.
May shows up for some reason, completely announces her intention to kill a Jedi in front of everybody.
Yep.
And then she pulls out her lightsaber and she says, "A Jedi doesn't draw their lightsaber unless they intend to kill."
No, okay. She says that before the fight.
No. The fight had already started.
No.
So, watch it again.
She says that before
the fight
had
already started because she'd thrown knives at her, and that's why she pulled the lightsaber out to deflect them.
She doesn't say after the lightsaber comes out.
Yes, she
Yes, she
100% does.
Pull it up. Pull it
Why would
up.
she say it otherwise? Why would she say it otherwise?
Pull it up.
Why would she? I don't have it on me.
What
Why
do
would
you
she
mean?
say it otherwise?
Hey,
Tom? That doesn't make sense for her to say it otherwise.
What's the who's
She
the Jedi
literally
Master called?
says, I can't
May
remember.
and
Her
Trinity.
Indara.
Yeah, it's actually May and Trinity fight scene. That's like hilarious.
That's funny.
But you'll find she's already got her lightsaber drawn, and then she says, "Oh, Jedi doesn't draw their lightsaber unless they're prepared to kill." And then she just
I might be
says,
mixing up with another line. So let me listen.
Yeah, see, I pulled it up.
Sorry, she says a Jedi will not check the alarms. You're right. She might do it after she pulls it. Let me check though.
Here, we're here. So if we go to this part here.
What's here?
You will not win. Doesn't pull her weapon unless.
Oh, she says it. Sorry, you're right. Okay, sure. Okay. Okay, sorry. I got the wrong line mixed up.
"Right."
So what was your question?
So, firstly, the line's full of shit. We already know that.
Sure.
Why does she put the lightsaber away?
Dumb cunt, hey. Absolute stupidity.
Like, you can't
Because
just put
this
this
is
down to
someone-
arrogance, because it's just plain stupidity.
Because she's seeing this person that she clearly knows and she clearly has history with. The viewer does not know what that history is quite yet, but it's clear that there's some history between the two, that her goading her and saying she's a hypocrite hits. That's again, I was thinking that when I was watching this show, I'm like, why has that hit her so deep? I did not know yet. I know now. That is what storytelling is.
Do we know now?
No,
Yes.
because
Well, we're about.
no,
Sorry,
no.
we know half the
Wait,
story.
wait. Because later in that same scene,
Uh-huh.
oh shit, what was I gonna say? Let's say blah 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 blah. Oh, fuck, I forget. There's something that completely counteracts. What did you say again, Tom? You said
At which point?
as why she would put it away.
Because there's clearly history between the two of them.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Because Trinity at some point in that fight says she reports it and says unknown Force user.
Yes, before her mask was down.
Oh, come on.
What?
She's not that hard to recognize. And
Why?
then once her mask came down, she could have just reported again. Oh, it's this bitch.
She's in a mid-fight.
Hang on. Also, the fact that they identified her as her sister halfway across the galaxy. I mean, like, how is she the only black chick with dreads in the whole fucking universe?
What are you talking about? They meet
What do you mean?
So they find Osha. Right.
Yeah, like, how do they get that from her description? A black chick with dreads. Fuck, bro. That's common in Earth. I mean, imagine how common it is there. Like, fuck me. That is so dumb. Like, you know what I mean? It would have been even more impactful, like, if she actually found out who it was at the start, right? And, you know,
lived and, like, reported it.
Not lived, like, actually reported, like, a name. Let's just say it's an ex-Jedi.
She died before she had even the ounce of a chance, though. I don't know what
I'm saying it would have been better. You know, when she said we have an unidentified Force user, like, the communique, let's just say that she thought it was Osha going ham or something, would have just made a whole lot more sense. And
she
actually
didn't know at that point the mask was up.
I'm saying it should have been.
That would have been silly.
No, it wouldn't have been silly, because then it would have made more sense when they go and arrest Osha.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Obviously,
all right. But see, like, we don't even have to go looking for these silly moments. Right at the end of episode 1, where you see the bad guy for the first time, the speech he gives is absolutely nonsensical.
A Jedi does not die from lasers.
Blades and lasers don't work against them, and then he literally pulls out a laser for absolutely no reason.
Oh yeah, this.
I actually agree that pulling out the lightsaber after that speech is a bit weird.
It's like when I saw
it's not weird.
It's fucking solo. I was like, why are you doing that?
There's no reason for him to do that, other than the fact that they're trying to shove it in your face that he's bad.
Yeah, agreed. That's weird.
Or the fact that skill and lasers have no effect on them, and then we saw a Jedi.
Well, how do you even come up with that
major
line?
subtext with that?
Oh, what is that?
He's not killing about the literal act, talking about the literal act of killing a Jedi. He literally says it's about killing the dream. It's just right there. Like it's in the thing.
He doesn't say about killing their ideology or their pillars of power. He talks
He
about
says
killing a
the
Jedi.
dream. That's what that means, man.
Where does he say killing the dream?
Isn't that the line? You must kill the dream or something. You must kill the idea of them. I forget the exact line. Let me get it.
I reckon if you Google dumb Sith speech, it'll come up.
It's not come up the first time, so oh no, got it. Yeah, an acolyte kills the dream is the last line of episode 1. So it's not about the actual act of killing a Jedi. There is more subtext to look into there.
An acolyte kills the dream.
That is the line.
That's still a vacuous statement.
But but you see what I mean? It's like you have a complaint, then the show is trying to say something different, and then you just swap to another thing.
Can I get the rest of those lines in context? Because that one on its own.
He says like an acolyte kills without a weapon. He kills without laser or thing. An acolyte.
Can I just point out the stupidity of trying to send someone out without a weapon? Like why? That's never going to work.
The thing they're doing.
That's not Sith.
But that's
well, whatever this guy is, it's
never
his
call
test
these
for his
people
acolyte. That's his test for his acolyte.
The Disney does
dumb.
not know how to be Sith.
that just objectively is dumb.
Why?
You don't send someone.
Hang on, let's listen to Smilo's stupid speech.
If you attack a Jedi with a weapon, you will fail.
Okay, sorry.
Keep it going. Listen to the whole thing.
Hang on. Even if he says an acolyte kills the dream, does not negate that line is dumb. If you attack a Jedi with a weapon, you will not succeed.
You will fail.
She doesn't matter. She killed one. She succeeded.
Steel
Hang on.
or laser are no threat to them.
Steel or laser are no threat to them.
Yes.
Well, that's not true. Still just killed one.
Oh no!
It doesn't matter if you're trying. You're not talking. He's not talking about an ideology.
Yes, he is.
Adrian, let him finish. Let him finish.
Oh, God, it doesn't.
But an acolyte.
Sorry, we
keep it going.
We have to pause. We have to, else we get copyright strike.
Oh my God!
Ryan Johnson sucks cock.
An acolyte kills without a weapon.
I would like to point out, now that we're here pausing again, that you'd think their hairstyles would be different.
Hang on. An acolyte kills without a weapon.
Yeah.
Why?
No, because
of the next line he's about to say.
An acolyte kills the dream.
Again, you're saying because he says an acolyte kills the dream, he is specifically talking about the ideology or religion of the Jedi.
That is very much the entire point of the scene, and if you can't see that, there's just a lack of.
But there's not. No.
See, if he was going to say that, he should have led with that. Because...
It's writing, man. It's meant to be multifaceted.
No, like if you're going to do that, you need to make it clear that's what you're talking about. Otherwise, it sounds nonsensical. Which is
anyone with like more than 12 brain cells will see that.
But I can also see. I have more than 12 brain cells, and I can see that that's actually
not
really
for this, man. It's like when it comes to this Star Wars stuff, you just.
But even that, he says an acolyte kills the dream.
Okay.
It's very open to interpretation. It's such a broad spectrum that could apply to.
Exactly. There's nothing here that says that they're attacking.
Oh my God! You guys just want to be pointed out to you.
Tom, I actually see your point. But if he was going to do that, they should have written that differently and have that last part earlier on.
But even if
because otherwise it just makes it sound like.
But then
the actual act of killing a Jedi.
By the end of the line, you go, "Oh, that's what they were talking about." You know?
Nah. Not really.
Unless you just don't listen to it.
That last line is it's too vague. It's not.
I disagree.
Exactly. Even with an acolyte kills the dream.
Super specific, But it needed another line or two to kind
But
of.
I'm sorry, but
then
even
why
if,
did it
even
click
if
to me?
Something more
sorry,
direct.
can I say something? Even if you say an acolyte kills the dream, which you're trying to say, it's meant to attack the ideology of what they are, who they are. How does killing the dream dismantle their ideology or their institution? Like an acolyte
also,
kills
how
that.
does an
Again,
acolyte
like how?
going unarmed?
Literally.
How does this help? How does an acolyte unarmed help?
He
Like,
wants
you're
to test
saying
his people by basically handicapping them and
no,
making
that
them
also
still fight.
n-
You know how
ha-
Palpatine sent
oh.
out Vader with no weapon before he built his red lightsaber as a test to him, like Sith do?
You
I have
mean in
absolutely no
Disney?
idea.
You mean in Disney canon? But yeah, go
In
on.
the comics, sure.
Yeah, Disney canon. Yeah,
Sure. That's what I'm saying though. Like that's not unheard of, but it's only a problem when it's in this show. In the Vader
also-
comic, everyone was
Well,
talking about how
I've
awesome
never
it was.
heard of it.
Sure,
I've
but the
said
people
anyway.
that read that stuff were like, "This is great."
again, we got to talk away about it from the normies who haven't seen that shit, right?
But the point
So,
is,
like,
Because
even
from
from a lore
everything we know, the
perspective, this
Jedi
was
are the
established.
best warriors in the universe. They are the best. That's all they do is train to use the Force and fight.
No, they don't
So
learn how to fight in this era.
So
Yes,
even
they
sending
do.
Vader
Yes,
out,
they do. They
Again,
learn how
it's
to
like
fight.
the shadow boxing style versus the
Nah,
sparring.
but that's not an actual
that,
thing.
but when
That's
it's
not
all
true.
you do,
That's
when
not true.
all you do is practice fighting and practice using the Force and meditating and communicating with the Force.
But that's
all
not
you've
true
done
because
since you were 5 years old.
Sorry,
or-
but that's
or
still not true. They're just shadow boxing. You saw the competency of Master Soul against these people. Like, I'm sorry, that still negates your point. These Jedi are Master Soul was quite proficient against this Sith person.
Yes.
Right? So no, I'm saying your point is negated just by
because
that.
he's a master.
It doesn't.
The other ones
So
were
what? And
knights.
Dara
like-
was a master. She got fucking
it
railed.
doesn't take many brain cells if you outnumber a person to say let's all attack him at the same time.
Even
that is
May,
true. But when it comes to fight choreography in movies, they are always going to go for style over substance because it's not a real fight; it's a movie.
Yes, but see, like fights have consequences. Like even the way
totally did.
The way a fight happens matters because it's still storytelling. So him beating that many Jedi at once did not make him look good so much as it made them look shit.
Again, to me, I got the opposite out of it.
Incredibly
So that's a very subjective thing.
No, but at the end of the day, it also cheapens Jedi. Not to mention that there's also 6 dead Jedi.
Yes,
which is a problem in continuity. It's a
well,
problem.
we haven't seen how that. Let's wait until the show finishes.
It doesn't matter. What are you going to do? Like, oh yeah, there's 7 dead Jedi. We're just going to cover it up.
See,
so
like just logically speaking, if you
Uh-huh.
find that many Jedi have died at one time, if you were in the Jedi's position, what would you do?
Yes, we're about to find out what.
No. Just
I don't know,
speaking.
but the point is you're critiquing something that hasn't happened yet.
Tom. Logically speaking, you would send every available person, seeing as we're in a time of peace and there's no other problems.
Okay.
You would send every available Jedi to go and find this prick.
Okay, how do you know they don't do that?
Well, we see Green Bean come with a
We
limping
haven't
lightsaber
seen
whip.
it, so let's wait until.
Hang on, we see Green Bean. We see that in the trailer.
Yeah,
we see the Nepotism Express come with a limping whip. That's what we see.
So
she's got to come with whip building.
So
the lightsaber whip. I don't know.
Let's wait until the show comes out before we say literally anything.
It's 5 episodes in.
Yeah, but we don't know. You're saying the Jedi should have reacted this way before the Jedi have reacted yet.
Well, he said something.
Well,
I'm saying
the
dead
Jedi have
pose the
absolutely
problem.
no reason to be on their planet
don't
in the first
know.
place, so this whole thing had no reason to kick off.
No, but I'm saying fundamentally that many dead Jedi, for me personally, poses an issue with continuity.
It does, but there's still 2 episodes to sew that up.
The only way I could see this ending and having it make any sense is that everyone involved dies.
That's probably likely at this rate.
But how? They all die in a plane crash? Like they have to.
They all die in fucking big.
Well, plane crashes aren't lethal, apparently.
But this is what but this is my point, Tom. Like, even if you're enjoying it, I felt like they treaded on water they shouldn't have treaded on. There was a better story to tell. There was a better way to do it, and there was a better way not to piss people off. If I was in Disney's position, because right now the fandom is volatile and a lot of people don't like their shit. More people do not like them. That is now a fact. There is not a lot in comparison to the shit that they're bringing out that people are watching it. So if I was them, I would literally be very, very careful of the material, of the timelines I would actually write in. If you gave the people an actual acolyte story, like I said, of them actually being smart, what they're doing behind the scenes, how they evade the Jedi, showing them to be very crafty in the shadows as they are, that for me would have resonated so much better with the fandom instead of just this shit.
God, one more question. Why the fuck did the bad guy reveal himself? What for?
Well, he did wear a mask. Not to mention, they did a really poor fucking like storytelling of. We all knew it was him.
Yeah, that's true.
And not to mention the poor apothecary owner. I always go back to this poor apothecary.
That's another thing. It's like, why did he take over the apothecary? He just happened to be exactly what. He just happened to be in the exact building they needed when she needed poison or some shit. It was just
I just feel bad for the owner of the apothecary. It's like no one actually came to check up on the poor cunt to see who he was. Like, hey, fucking old Joe's not there. There's some fucking weird Asian Ezra Bridger fucking killed him.
Like, what about fucking the bad guy getting let off with a warning for assisting, for admitting to his being an
aiding and abetting to a
murdering two Jedi?
Yeah, we'll let you off with a warning.
We'll let you go with a warning. Like it's just it just doesn't make any logical sense.
There is some stupid shit in this show.
Fat Jedi.
Look, Tom, I know you have perfected the art of switching off thy brain and going, it's just Star Wars, stupid shit happens. You've accepted it. But for me, that sounds like almost apathy towards the fucking franchise.
I don't know how you watch the prequels without that mindset, quite frankly. If I want to enjoy Revenge of the Sith, I have to switch my damn brain off.
The story is still solid.
The story is fucking ridiculous in this movie. Of course it's ridiculous. Rogue One has zero character development, but if I still love watching it because it's.
Yeah, I think Rogue One has zero character development.
It's got shit all, dude.
Really?
There's a little bit.
That's
it's
hot
like
take.
A tad, but that movie isn't great because of its character work.
That is a hot take.
Yeah.
That's a hot ass take.
But that's the thing. I still like it because I just like Star Wars. And these stories are good to me. I like them.
I hate you.
I will say that from the filmmaking perspective, most of the Disney Star Wars ones have done pretty good.
I hate you.
From subjective points, there are many reasons to not like this sort of thing. If we were to just look at what they've done objectively, of course it's pretty good. They've hired the top people.
What? Who's who?
Mate.
Who?
They can't.
Who?
None of the actors can act, with the exception of the Asian guy.
Yours not bad. Yours not bad. Yours not bad.
Yord was acceptable. But
what
he
about
had
Soul?
very
I love Soul.
We said Squid Games was good. Yord was acceptable. Fucking Amanda Stenberg has one expression.
I'm not talking about the actors. I mean from a filmmaking perspective. When you're looking at the VFX and the shots work, it is good.
Acting is a significant part of filmmaking.
No. If you actually look at people who work within that VFX industry and actually tell their story, they are so completely rushed. Which is one of the points that I think Kenobi made, our mate who's actually in the film industry. Godzilla -1, actually, even though they had such a little budget, it was a very, very small team, but they took such the time to actually make it work good. These guys are also being fucking rushed to meet stupid deadlines for no reason, and it resonates within the quality of the VFX. The VFX in this is not that good. See, even when I look at the volume, sometimes the volume looks good, sometimes the volume does not look good.
Yeah, sometimes volume looks terrible.
But especially in this one, apparently it was not shot on volume. It was actually looked pretty crap. And if you look at the significantly less budget that Andor had, the VFX in Andor are fucking superb.
Andor is an amazing looking show. Like I said, I think it's perfect.
But they gave Tony Gilroy the fucking time, didn't they?
Yeah.
Tony Gilroy is the only one you could look at and go, that's a quality human being they brought on.
Wow, you've really turned on Dave, haven't you?
I haven't turned on Dave because I think Dave is still competent enough to tell a decent story. So, which makes me go, why the fuck did you greenlight this? Which also makes me believe, does he actually even have any power? Because I think they bastardized his Ahsoka show. I don't necessarily think that was all him. If it was all him, then I'm checked out on him.
So you're gonna hate him after this, but he greenlit every episode script.
Apparently, and that's why I'm just like, it's fucking shit. Like, even like for me, he destroyed Sabine as a character. She was perfect in Rebels, and she was perfect the way she was. There was absolutely no reason to make her that, or to make her an apprentice. That just came out of complete left fucking field. That was one big reason as well I got taken out of that show. I was just like, that's stupid. That's an actual fucking dumb thing. Yeah. Sabine was special before that. She didn't need to be a Jedi. Like, she really didn't need to be Force sensitive at all.
She wasn't. She's not Force sensitive. Like, she's not like Jedi level Force sensitive. That's the point,
bro. She pulled a mad Force push out of her ass, bro. It was dumb.
That was definitely strange. But the idea behind, I'm not even gonna explain it. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm tired.
I don't have to explain it. There's not much to explain. It was bad.
It is about bedtime, to be fair.
Shill or no shill?
I don't think he's a shill. I think he just genuinely wants to enjoy it. He's not looking for these things. Not to say that we are, because you don't even have to look for it. But like, he's not questioning things. He's looking for. I think he subconsciously looks for things that how this.
There's definitely a level of unconscious bias going on there. Like for example, wanting it to be good. But if you look at. So hang on, where were we, by the way? Before can we just wrap this scene up? Because
put the volume on.
Where were we?
Come.
Look at Ray.
Well, yeah.
Like
the rich king of Angmar.
I didn't have any more budget for this scene. So it's like, you can't just go hang with your fucking hood over your head.
Yeah.
Claim your destiny.
Oh, the hyena.
God has tied together. No one.
Look at that. They're trying to do the good and the bad. Yeah, I don't know why.
Why is she shouting? Stop yelling.
Separate.
She's looking at the camera.
Nah. She's looking past it. The horny one looks more like she's looking at the camera, but I don't think she was either.
Power.
Is that a human? Do you reckon it's just a mannequin?
Can you tell me they're supposed to be evil without telling me they're supposed to be evil?
No.
Power.
Oh dear.
Power.
Vagina.
The power of one.
I don't get this one.
Yeah, they just accidentally gave her some blue face paint. Turned her skin blue on her eyes.
That looks like a really angry human gremlin.
The power of two. The power of many.
You're right. The breath is just the funniest fucking thing.
I just imagine the garlic bread like.
Yeah. You'd make them all have a piece of chewing gum beforehand.
Can you imagine how awkward it would have been for these fucking children filming this? Oh, what the fuck? What is she catching?
I love how that they're making that like this. They're going to do something super powerful and stuff, and it's just to put a mark on someone's head. Like all this effort.
I am sort of interested to know what the fuck the mark is. There's out of curiosity. There's not much about the show that has made me care. I want to know who this is. That makes me care. Because I don't think it's anyone. I think it's like a mannequin.
Mayho Anisea, do you vow upon my death?
Do you vow? Okay, let's just try and do the Tom thing and try and look into it. Do you vow upon my death? She dies apparently, right?
Yep. Foreshadowing.
Ooh.
To protect the secrets of our coven and continue our legacy.
To protect
Continue the legacy, bitch.
To protect the secrets of our coven and continue our legacy. Well, I doubt
So maybe she wants
much.
to kill all the Jedi because she's trying to keep the coven a secret, even though it gets burned down and everyone dies and no one gives a shit about them anymore.
I've never wanted to punch someone so fucking hard right now. Like,
I do.
why is she orgasming at a child?
It's just it's almost like freaking jizz in my pants moment.
Wait, didn't she already catch the Force before and she caught it again? Did she drop it?
Secrets of our coven and continue our legacy.
Wait,
How can she just hold that much power for so long and just talk?
Or maybe it slipped out of her hands and she went, oh! Slipping away.
Hey, Dinkum, that nose ring, she looks like she belongs in Goulburn Stockyard. Get rid of it.
Fucking bullseye. oh. It's like Randy from South Park.
I was gonna say, you made me think of Randy when he was when he hasn't masturbated for like 2 weeks, and then he finally gets some internet porn, and he's in that room, and you just hear him go, oh,
and he just sprayed himself everywhere.
Oh, that wasn't me. It was a spooky ghost.
Oh, that face.
It's an ectoplasm. Ghost slimed me.
What is going on here? That looks like Dave Chappelle. Like,
since when could you see a Force ability? Like the colors are changing coming out of her hands.
Oh, you can see it with the Night, which is a Dathomir.
Yeah,
they represent it with the green shit.
Yeah, I thought they were stupid.
What's going on with that kid's hairline?
It's something to do with the dreads. I love that they've had the same haircut their whole life, though.
Yeah, I know. Even I've gotten a fade. That is creepy.
Yeah.
That is creepy.
Just a little bit more. Just a little more. Don't stop.
If they hold him for like, that's 3 seconds of just queer shit.
Tell you what, she's got some pretty decadent, like for people living in poverty, presumably.
She's got
some pretty decadent jewelry.
Even this fucking.
She made of pure gold.
Literally.
Ascend.
Ascend, just get up, cunt. That's what it means.
I was gonna say ascend. Just say
Stand.
rise.
Rise. Yeah, stand.
Ascend is the wrong word.
Do you reckon this lesbian has a preference on one of her kids?
What do you mean?
Do you reckon she hates Osha and likes May?
I don't know. I don't care. I just find it funny that she's got elf ears for some reason.
I think the things Zabrax did. Oh, well.
Osha and Asay.
This cunt has not moved.
Maybe that's what he's there for. He's looking for the elf bitch.
Do you vow upon my death?
Does she have the ring?
To protect the secrets of our coven and continue our legacy.
Look at the spirit fingers. That is wrong.
2.
Oh.
Oops, she's catching some more. Wait, wouldn't they need to do the whole thing again?
Oh, the whole fucking.
Wouldn't they need to do the routine again for her to just pull another Force tattoo out of her ass? Shouldn't they be restarting?
The Jedi! They've sliced the platform.
They've hacked the platform, ladies and gentlemen.
They will be here any moment.
There's even a little moment here which
No,
Oh, they're not going to
finished.
show it. There's even a little moment there which is just stupid where the black chick says to another one of the bitches, "Look after the girls for a minute." Like,
I like how
and then
eloquently put that was.
literally 30 seconds later, the girls are off on their own, crawling around. Just like, well, whoever that was just completely ignored the order they were given.
Hmm. Ah.
Oh,
The
that scene
power
is
of one. The
it's
power of...
it's
It's creepy.
awe-inspiringly bad. Like
Well, here's the thing we can do. Let's just do our little outro here. Okay, it was like the whole point of subjectivity versus objectivity. Now, so Tom was trying to say our critiques are more subjective than objective. Now, you're a writer. Would objectively bad storytelling be when you're leading the audience towards a state of still unknowing that many episodes in, where to the point...
Well, that's what I was trying to bring up multiple times, or I've mentioned, is like, by this stage where we are now, we should have some vision of where this is going.
Yeah.
But we don't. We've got no fucking idea where anyone's going. More to the point, we don't care where it's going either.
Yeah.
Like, at this point, you should care about some of the characters, but you just don't. But yes, by this point, there should be some kind of roadmap to follow. But here we just got, okay, OSHA's infiltrating them for reasons. Not sure why. I'm not sure why anyone would think that would work.
Have you seen this?
Did you ever hear?
No.
We'll watch this in a second. Yeah, but like what I'm saying is, like, for example, let's just say if there's lack of character development, there's poor story points. Let's just say something like where she goes onto the prison ship where there's absolutely no human beings and it's just droids guarding them and they escape easily. At what point do we draw subjectivity to objectivity? Like, which part of that would be objectively bad versus a subjective?
Yeah, I suppose that's subjective. You could say logically that's stupid.
Yeah.
Like, you could point out that logically that's really negligent.
So would objectivity be then that scene when, you know, he was trying to make the
objectivity is just... Well, hang on, sorry, say that again.
The point of where they sort of rip themselves into like a dumb corner when...
Well, there's been many.
Well, there was not many like ways where it showed the Jedi being forceful of their hand when they're just like, you don't have to test the kids. We have the right to, but with your choice. Like, wouldn't that still be objectively bad writing? Because it's like, well, there's no real inkling that they'll do it anyway. There's no forcefulness in their nature. It's just like shit dialogue at this point, right?
Well, you could argue that if that's the point that they were trying to get across, that it wasn't bad writing, it was bad cinematography. Because, again, like you say, they showed no signs. Had they have shown some signs of it, just like hands hovering near their weapons or something like that, something as simple as that, having their hands, like showing their hands near their lightsabers, and then like the witches looking down and seeing that and then agreeing to it, that's all it would have taken. But they didn't. Hello? Yeah. He's disappeared. You're not getting another burrito, are you? But just
no. I said I was going to go to the loo while you explained that.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, yes, of course. I had my headphones on. So yeah, like I got that. I saw that, but it's you know, when I was thinking of something mid piss and it just goes away. Yeah. As a response to what you were saying. It's just like, even then, like, for example, if you want to show them, you know, stroking it, like, Would objectivity also be breaking already established story points? So we know the Jedi aren't like that.
Yeah, this is my problem with it, is that they've
Especially if you're trying to
clearly
argue for
shown
time of peace.
very... They've either shown very clear lack of understanding or just don't care about the world building that has happened prior to this, and they're just rewriting it their own way, or they're just trying to do the Jedi are evil, but they're just doing it in a ham-fisted way where it's just not subtle at all. Because, like, is there any wonder at this point that the Jedi killed the witches?
Sorry, say that again.
Is there any wonder that it was the Jedi that killed the witches?
I don't know. There's obviously something dark here, which is like not the Jedi way. And I understand, like, if it's isolated to a pocket of these Jedi's that all ended up doing something.
No, but see, I can't even accept that as a pocket of Jedi. I could see that being maybe one and his Padawan doing it, but that many?
I agree. I think there would be,
And then-
especially with Jedi Masters, there would be some that would turn their nose up at this, right? Unless it's something that happened.
They would
like,
all have to be on the same page if they were going to be doing this shit.
Unless it's snowballed.
But
and
again,
hold
this
together.
all comes back to the start of they have no reason to be there in the first place.
Well, that's the thing. It's just like I struggle to find the idea that they were there for the children. It's like, how did they know?
Yeah, how did they know about these kids? Why do these particular kids matter? Why aren't they saying they're too old when they clearly are? There's just so many things. When you have to ask this many questions, I would call that bad writing because they haven't answered any of them.
Okay, when you're doing bad writing, that's obviously when you say that's objectively bad writing, right?
I would say so, yes. I think it ignores enough of its own world building without explaining what they're trying to do. If they're trying to do something different, it's got to be explained.
Yeah.
Because what we know of the Jedi is that they're nothing like this. And then all of a sudden they just are. Yeah, and that whole thing about the Jedi being a weakened version of themselves was full of shit. That's completely incorrect.
No, I agree. And like, look, I agree with Tom to a certain degree where it's like you shouldn't have to hand feed the audience, so to speak. Like, yeah, I get that.
No, you don't.
I get that. But there's also points of like where you'd leave the audience with absolutely no inclination or nothing. You know what I mean? It's like if you left them feeling like a nothing burger, which is essentially what happened. Like people got to episode 5 and they're like, nothing has happened.
Yeah.
Like nothing has happened. Like even episode 4, you're just like, what was that episode?
Let's see, like, what is the point of the show? Is it to find out who killed the Jedi? Sorry, is it to find out who killed the witches?
I'm not sure. I think they're throwing a few plots in there.
Is the bad guy? What's his end game? What's he trying to achieve? Like, what is his mission?
I think those are only two sort of things in there. It's just like, well,
what is Osha trying to do? We don't know what her intentions are at this point. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, that could be used to good effect. But it doesn't really make any sense to me at this point because all we've seen, apart from her motivations changing 1,000 times, is that she wants to kill the Jedi. That's all she's been like raised to do her whole life. She then changes her mind, and now she's infiltrating them. Why? Like,
well, especially when she said, "Osha being alive changes everything. I don't care if the Jedi arrest me, because after I tell them what we know, it'll be okay." And then she resists arrest anyway.
But we already know she doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
And this makes him revealing himself even more dumb when he says she exposed me. It's like, well, no, she didn't. She couldn't. She didn't know who you were. She's already been interrogated.
We just have to turn our brains off, right? Remember?
This is the point, is that it's expecting you to turn your brain off and just watch it.
And just consume blindly.
Yes.
Well, look, after episode 3, I think we can, do you know what?
Dude, after episode 1.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? Tomorrow we got a nice day on our hands, don't we?
Oh, God.
Tomorrow's gonna be fun. I reckon tomorrow.
Dude, you gotta find out the rules so we can have like a watch party or something.
I'll try and I'll try and do that actually early on during the day because I got work. So tomorrow we'll try and I'll see what I can do so we can actually have a nice talk about this tomorrow. Start earlier, but on the outro, guys, have a good day, and we'll end with you know what? We won't watch this. We're just going to go because I have to go to the loo really badly.
I'll end it with fuck the acolyte.
Yeah.